Hello, welcome to episode 23 of
The Eldritch Podblast.
I am Margaret.
I am Jack.
And hello. How is everyone? How are you?
I'm very good. How are you?
I am very good, thank you. I am warm.
Yes.
It is hot right now in England. I mean, I wouldn't say hot.
Well, you say that, but we were just driving in the car and it rained about 6 times. And in between that rain, there was glorious sunshine.
Yeah.
So
but
that's just living in Britain.
Yeah, it's we're in the weird in between phase at the minute where it's just about to go into spring.
Yeah,
like
it's spring, isn't it?
I was gonna say I think spring has officially started.
It was spring when the clocks went forward.
Yeah, which was like last Sunday, maybe I think.
Yeah.
So it's the temperatures. When did spring start? 2023. So it's real warm at the minute. It's not even real warm. It's just warm in this house, and I've been running around. Go on. When does
March 20th? Yeah.
March 20th. What are we on now?
Monday, yeah.
The 30th.
30th. Yeah.
As of filming, obviously, not when you guys see this. So.
But yeah, it's spring.
It's
But
happy.
that's what
Oh, happy spring.
That's what it's like in the UK.
Yeah.
It's just you can never really get
a true
understanding what the weather's like.
Yeah, indeed.
Even the weather forecasts aren't very good.
No, I agree.
They're never particularly accurate.
No. So it's quite warm. I love the warm.
Raining.
Yeah, I like the sun. And I like the warm. And you know what? It has been we play D&D after work on a Wednesday. Yeah, on a Wednesday night.
On a Wednesday.
And
so last night.
The last few sessions, everyone's just been absolutely wild just because the sun's still been out.
Yeah,
and
it's still been light when we're playing.
I know,
which is crazy.
it's just been a totally different vibe, hasn't it?
We try and shut the curtains to make it as dark as possible.
Yes. Last night.
That's the only way.
Literally last night, if the sun was out when everyone got here, we were like, shut the curtains. And we'll just turn
the lights off.
We'll turn on some ambient fake lighting.
Yes.
So, yes. Anything you would like to update the people on?
Not really.
No.
Not a huge amount's happened this week.
No, not
just
really.
Just been chilling, really.
Yeah. We're falling back into a schedule, like a proper schedule now, where we're understanding how to manage our different workloads at the minute, because we're self-employed and we work from home. We run a few online businesses.
Yeah.
And that's obviously full-time work.
Yeah.
And then the podcast is also full-time work, really.
Yeah.
So we've just been.
For us, it's like, when we go into the new year, it's still always very busy.
Mm-hmm.
And then when we come into the spring to summer months, that's when we usually get a bit quieter.
Yes, yeah.
A lot of people do online shopping in autumn and winter.
Naturally, yeah.
That's just the way it is.
Yeah.
So that's why we did the podcast in the new year.
Yeah.
Because we were like, it'll be tough at the beginning because we'll still have lots of work. But then as the work slows down, we'll be able to like spend more time doing things to the podcast.
Yeah, exactly. So we're settling into a better routine now.
Yeah, we are, which is
I would say. And honestly, thank you guys for you continue to push us to want to do this.
Yeah.
Like I can't lie, it's hard. There's part of it. There's parts where it's hard, and knowing what to do and what to say and what to look at.
Yeah.
It's difficult, and finding the time to do it is tough too.
That's the toughest bit, is finding the time. But I feel like we've got ourselves into a decent enough schedule.
Yeah, very much
now.
So. Yeah.
At the beginning, it was just sort of
just hoping for the best.
Trying our best.
Just hoping for the best.
But like what, episode 23?
Yeah.
I feel like we're into like a groove now.
Yeah, we're definitely in a groove.
We're feeling
now.
the groove.
Definitely.
We're riding the wave.
Yeah, totally.
I do want to say one thing.
Yes.
I do want to say one thing.
Please do.
I want to because obviously, you know, we uploaded this to YouTube and that's where it all began, and then like we moved on to TikTok for the clips and stuff like that, and then that was obviously good. They're both going really well. But one thing, everyone shouted for Spotify.
Yes.
And we were like, okay, we'll put it on Spotify.
Didn't understand Spotify.
Didn't really understand. We put it on Spotify and we've got 253 like subscribers.
Yeah, we checked today and we were like, what the fuck?
Just fucking mad.
Which is insane.
So thank you. Shout out to all the Spotify listeners.
Indeed. If you're listening on Spotify right now, or, you know, I know some people will watch on both to give us the engagement.
Because you can watch on Spotify.
You can watch on Spotify.
See, I didn't know that.
You can watch on Spotify.
So I was going to be like, I'm sorry, it's probably better for you because you can't see all my stupid hand gestures when I'm talking. But you actually can.
You can if you want to.
You can if you want to.
But yeah, I know some of you watch on YouTube and Spotify to give us the maximum watch time, which we really, truly appreciate. That's great. Someone actually did ask us the other day. They said, if you listen on Spotify, because we recently just got monetized, thank you. That's all because of you, by the way. If they listen on Spotify, will the money still come to us? I don't know the answer to that.
No idea.
I have absolutely no clue. But what I can say is it's not about the money.
Yeah.
Please don't worry about where you listen. As long as it's easier for you, however you choose to watch and listen, you do that. Don't worry about us, please.
Yeah. There's if you were just coming here to just worry about the money, then you probably, it's not that much money. It's like the money that you get paid from TikTok and from YouTube.
Oh, no, yeah.
It's not that much. So, if we would come in here for the money, we'd be just, doing, pranks and stuff. Trying to just get millions of views to just get as much money as possible. The whole point is we wanted to come to, slowly build a bit of a community where everyone can be here. And, it's not about, the money. It's just about building the community.
Exactly. Yeah, and I feel like we're already here. Yeah, I feel like the community that we have, we say this every time. I know we do. But the community we have, you are such a close-knit group of people who I see you interacting with each other. You interact with us.
Yeah.
You always show up first. You always leave comments. You interact on the community posts, on our Twitter, which you don't want to see our Twitter, and our Instagram.
I've never seen it.
I know. So honestly, thank you. Truly, truly thank you. So please do not worry about that at all.
Yeah,
it's not something you need to worry about.
Just so you know, the bit of money that we do get, we're going to just try and
just put it back into the podcast.
We're just going to try and put it back in the podcast for now. Yeah. So I don't know. We bought, because sometimes the audio cuts out. So
we use a mixer, which Jack's brother very kindly lent. I mean, this is all, the mics, everything's all down. Thank you, Dan.
These are Tom mics. These are for drums. So this isn't the most perfect equipment. And, these mic stands aren't built for these mics. We're just sort of we're
just hoping for the best.
It's just cobbled together right now. But my brother showed me how to mix the vocals and stuff like that. So it doesn't. So it sounds still pretty good.
Yeah, we hope
it looks all right.
Watch everyone be like,
by the way, so it sounds like shit. So the money that we get, we're gonna try and put back in to maybe buy some new mics or buy a new mixer. We bought a new cable because that's why the audio was cutting out now and then.
Yeah, if you see cuts in the videos, it's 9 times out of 10 the dog. The other one time out of 10 is because our mic's cut out.
Our mic's just it's for a second.
But
it'll be like in the middle of a point.
Really important.
Yeah. I'll be and the reason why I love D&D is and that's it.
Exactly. So just to be transparent with you guys, because that's the whole reason we're here.
That chunk of money, which also, by the way, some people don't get monetized for years on YouTube. Yes. And some people, when they do get monetized, might only make a few pounds.
Yeah,
the fact that we're getting
anything for being two idiots sat here.
Potentially £80
is
to put back into the podcast.
Truly unbelievable.
It's just so good.
It really is. So.
I'm wondering, I don't know what we're gonna buy. We're gonna try this. We've got a new cable, so fingers crossed we won't have any more audio
Watch
issues.
there be more cuts in this video.
Watch this be dreadful.
Watch us not be able to even.
Watch it it's in 420p and
hopefully not.
Recorded on a literal potato.
A tin can and a potato. Yeah. So, we're gonna put the money into something else as well.
Margaret.
Something.
Margaret.
Something that just been worked on behind the scenes.
What do you mean? What are you talking about?
Who knows? I don't know. Oh.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You just want to.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know what's on the horizon, to be honest. Oh. I don't know what that picture...
The people who are watching on Spotify are like, why are they just making these weird sex noises?
Oh, God. Who knows? Potentially. Something might be coming. Don't know what, though. It's a mystery.
I'm excited.
Me too. So
and we have been, let's be completely open and honest, we have been working on a Discord.
We have been working on it. Yes.
It's not there just yet.
We've been working on a Discord. It isn't there yet because we don't know what we're doing.
We, as we've said through this whole process, we're just two people.
Hoping for the best.
Doing our best.
Truly clinging on for dear life. Hoping for the best.
Making it up.
Yeah, so we are definitely going to be coming out with the Discord server.
100% Discord server.
Yes.
Potentially some merch.
Yes.
Coming soon.
Mm-hmm.
And then, from that point, we'll do that. Let that settle.
And then we'll be looking at things like Patreon and live streams and one-shots and stuff.
100%. I'm super excited.
Same. So that's the pipeline right now, really.
I was talking to Margaret and I was like, we've got to just get a stream going.
Yeah, totally.
And, like, I don't know, like, we'll just play some like fantasy games. We're all here because we like fantasy D&D. We can play Divinity. We could play like Baldur's Gate when it comes out. We could play like Elden Ring or something like
WoW
that.
Classic was one we were talking
WoW
about.
Classic,
yeah. So
we'll probably just like, when we're gonna do a stream, we'll probably just put a poll up and be like, these are the games that we're thinking about playing.
Yeah, totally.
You pick the ones that
you want. Honestly, whenever any of this happens, you will know about it. We promise you 100%. Will know about when these things happen. If you have any suggestions as of right now, what you would like to see us in the Discord, what kind of channels you would like. I know someone said, great suggestion, looking for group channel.
Yeah, looking for group channel.
So everyone can get together and play D&D together, because you know for a fact you're all like-minded people because you're here. Yeah,
you're like-minded people. You're here. We're here because we love D&D and fantasy and TTRPGs.
We all align. I feel like we make our opinions on, hate and toxicity and everything like that very clear. So I feel like you have to be a certain type of person to be here.
So you can probably get an LFG going in this Discord and then already be halfway to like, okay, at least our views align.
Yes, that is a very, very blanket statement. Yeah. But you guys know each other already. We see you interacting with each other. So that's definitely going to go up. Let us know. Let us know what suggestions you have.
Yeah.
Let us know just what you'd like to see. I know we say this every single time. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, but that's good though, because you guys always do, and that's what we ask, because you always say, I would like to say this, I would like to say this, I would like to say this.
We're plowing forward, aren't we?
Yeah.
Plowing forward.
Chugging along,
hoping for the best. And once again, it has to be said, couldn't have done it with any. Couldn't have done it with any of yous.
Yeah, you're fucking weighing us down.
Couldn't have done it with. No, what am I trying to say here?
Couldn't have done it without you.
Couldn't have done it without you.
Couldn't have done it without any of you.
Couldn't have done it without any of you.
And it's awesome. And we get excited to record a podcast. And then we talk about like the Discord. And then we talk about like future plans. And we're just excited. Yeah. It's just fun,
we talk to you guys as well. You always leave comments. We're always in the comments with you guys. And it's great.
Like the amount of people that were like a one shot with the viewers.
Yes.
Like, that's something else that we're going to do. Totally. Especially if we get like this whole like Discord sorted.
Totally, yeah.
And then we can talk about live streams. Then we can definitely do something like that.
Absolutely. And, That's the plan. That's the plan.
It'd be nice to interact with you all, and not just
on like a deeper level.
Yeah, not just like
totally.
Like a comment and then I reply back a few days later, and then you'll reply back to me. And then it'd be nice to like have a little bit of more of an open line of communication.
Absolutely, 100%.
With the squadron.
With the squadron.
With the squadron.
With the squadron. Yep. So, before we get into today's topic, I do actually have an update.
Go.
It's a follow-up from some advice that we did in the last episode. Couldn't tell you what episode that was. We'll link it up here if you haven't seen the previous.
What if you don't link it?
Advice. I'll link it. Make a note for me to link it.
Margaret link.
Margaret link it this time. So this is an update from Jay, and I don't know if you recall, they went by Jay the Silly, who likes frogs and snakes.
Yes, I do very much remember.
Jay's original submission was basically, I'm DMing for a group of people. I'm very silly. I like everything to be quite jovial. However, there's a couple of other players who who I think would prefer more serious elements, more serious roleplay. Do I compromise on who I am as a DM with the silly things and go more serious, or do I just stick to who I am?
Yeah.
We basically gave the idea of speak to your players, see if they even want that from you, and see what they would like. And this is Jay's update.
Hit me.
So, long-time listener, fifth-time submitter. Thank you, Jay.
Thank you.
And I apologize for being so far behind. Don't apologize.
Don't
the fact you're here is more than enough. So I finally caught up to the episode where you answer my first question in episode 17. Look at Jay putting in the hard work for us here.
Thanks, Jay.
Episode 17.
Episode?
What is that what I said?
I said episode.
I'm sticking to it.
Episode 17.
I decided, based on your advice, to give serious roleplay sessions as a one-on-one to one of my players. They really enjoyed it. It is more stressful for me, as Jack mentioned, but I decided to pepper it in here and there. I still have Trash Bag the Orc and Tickle Fingers the Goblin Bard.
Tickle Fingers.
In brackets, a metalcore bard that is getting more and more famous to the chagrin of my player bard.
I love that.
And we did a homebrew Jaws-inspired session, so I can still be cartoony. Again, I love the podcast, and more importantly, I appreciate y'all. I got a little bit embarrassed hearing my question. I can't imagine being in front of a camera. Thank you, Jay.
Thanks, Jay.
We're so glad that it helped.
Yeah.
The stupid things we say.
Like I said, like, if that's not the way you DM, DMing like that all the time is going to be stress and it is going to be hard because you're trying to do something that you're not. But, you obviously came to us because you wanted to do something for them.
Yeah.
So the fact that you just were like, okay,
indeed,
we'll give it a little bit more serious for this amount of time and do that. And then you did it and then your player appreciated it.
There you go.
Done.
There
Awesome.
you go.
That's amazing.
Good on you, Jay. Honestly, good on you. Thank you so much for giving us a follow-up. I
love the follow-ups.
Love a follow-up. And again, if you're listening and you've submitted some advice that we've actually looked at or that potentially we're going to be looking at today, and you have an update, please let us know and we'll update everyone because I know everyone would love to hear it too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you, Jay.
Cheers, Jay.
So, without any further ado.
That's for the Spotify listeners.
The silent
thumbs up.
Yep. So, without any further ado, shall we to get into today's topic,
which is
what
you just spoiled because you just said it.
Your advice submissions,
your advice
baby.
submissions.
You know what? I think the advice is the biggest portion of the pie that we have on our submission form.
Yeah,
by far.
There's just so you all know. There's a lot of
there's a lot of submissions,
which we appreciate.
Oh yeah, again, we say it every time we do a submission video. You guys are literally keeping our podcast alive.
Like, this is,
so thank you.
This episode of the podcast is impossible
without you guys.
Without you guys
totally,
submitting the stuff.
Totally.
But yeah, I think we broke over like 200 submissions.
Yeah, we did, which is wild,
mental.
Absolutely wild. So. Yes, if you have a submission, if you have anything you would like to ask us, to tell us, etc., that's the very first link in the description on every single video.
Yeah.
And let's just get into I can see the dog. He's just stood there looking at me.
He's just chilling.
Oh, funny. Yes, without any further ado, let's get into it.
Don't come this way.
Oh, no.
All the wires are there. Oh.
We'll be right back. Hello, we are back. Watch this be like cut 392 because the new wire hasn't worked.
The new wire is dog shit.
Exactly. Okay, so this is our first advice submission.
Go.
This has been submitted by Anonymous and they go by she, her.
Anonoblaster. Oh, what was it? Blastnonymous.
It was Podnonymous? Podnonymous?
Was it Podnonymous?
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 Oh, once again, Sherry came through with the names.
One.
It was something. It was Pod. Oh man, we should have looked beforehand. It was like Podnonymous.
Podnonymous.
Podnonymous. Well, yeah, Podnonymous. Okay. Hi all, my 25 girlfriend. My 25 girlfriend.
My 25 girlfriends.
Turns out this is just romantic advice. Hi all, my 25 female girlfriend. Hold on. No, I'm not going to clap it out. Hi all.
What's going on?
I'm struggling to get... Sorry, everyone. We've fallen at the first hurdle.
Of course.
We're 22 minutes in.
Come on. Let's go. Let's do it.
Hi, all.
Yes.
My.
Yes.
25 female.
Perfect.
Girlfriend.
Yes.
28 female.
Ah, okay.
And I have recently started playing D&D with another couple. 30 male.
Yes.
And 30 female.
Okay.
We were all friends before we started this campaign together. The campaign started about 8 months ago and none of us had played D&D before this campaign. The other couple and my girlfriend, however, had watched other campaigns like Critical Role and Dimension 20, and then in brackets, I went in blind, lol. We met our DM. No, we went in blind.
Yeah, we did.
We met our DM online and he has been wonderful, and the story so far has been so fun. He has DM'd a lot of campaigns before and he has been so helpful in helping all of us learn and grow at the game. Sounds like a great DM.
Sounds awesome.
Here's the issue. The other couple has started complaining to us about the DM's decisions. I would like to say that it's only some of the DM's decisions, but it's starting to feel like all of them. The decisions they complain about are literally everything and anything that makes our campaign easier for us in their eyes. We shouldn't be getting so much gear. We shouldn't be getting positive outcomes if we only rolled a 15. We shouldn't be able to talk our way out of combat, even when everyone rolls natural 20s on persuasions, so on and so forth. They've expressed some of this to the DM, and the DM has always had a really reasonable explanation for the choices made and has never gone back on them, but they won't stop complaining to us about it. It's super frustrating and annoying, and I'm just getting to a point where I can't take them questioning the DM so much. Isn't that just part of D&D, that the DM is always right? I 100% guarantee they're doing this because they think they would know better and they could be better DMs than our DM, and in brackets, and they definitely would not be. The guy always used to try to speak over the DM about rules and such, and it's gotten better, but now it's being replaced with a constant complaining and questioning. Our DM is so sweet about it, and he tells them he loves that they question him so he can explain the decisions he's making. But I'm over it. How do we tell them to knock it off, or should I just let it go? I'm starting to feel like they won't take me seriously regardless because they know more about D&D than me because they have watched campaigns before. What do I do?
This is a tough one. Okay.
You know what? We had a similar admission? Submission.
Yeah.
Similar admission. We had a similar submission to this in the very first advice one we did, where the submitter was in a relationship with the DM and other players were also. Yeah. And it was getting to this boiling point where
I think that person was far worse though.
Yes, that
person
sounds
was like got up and left the table.
Yeah, it sounds yeah. So this is very much so the players complaining behind the DM's back to the other players.
So it's the other couple that are complaining to this couple.
Yes, exactly, right. Exactly. And it sounds like in game as well, the other couple are starting to say things to the DM and questioning rules and asking questions and talking over them.
It's tough because I understand not wanting to always succeed.
Yeah.
Like, look,
no, totally. Yeah.
Me in a nutshell.
Yeah.
Love to fail.
Yeah.
Love for things to go wrong. Love for my character to die. Love for all of these things to happen.
Yeah.
So, like, if sometimes you feel like it's on easy mode, it can be a bit. To me, it can be a bit boring.
Yeah, fair enough.
Like, if I'm like, nah, there's no way I should succeed this check.
Yeah,
I only rolled like a 12, and then it's like, oh no, that's enough.
Yeah.
Like, I get that.
I get that as well. I'm definitely not as bothered about it as you are.
Yeah. But at the same time, you know, if the DM's like has a good explanation as to why you don't know everything that's going on with
you
the
don't
DM.
know the cogs going. Yeah,
you don't know the
definitely.
cogs that are turning.
Yeah,
like,
totally.
Decisions are made from the DM because of things that you don't understand.
Yeah.
It sounds like the DM's not upset.
Yeah, I was gonna say it sounds like the DM isn't upset, and OP has openly said that the DM says,
yeah,
I appreciate you asking questions because it gives me a reason. It gives me
I can explain
the situation to you. However, I do totally understand if someone's coming to you behind the DM's back
and the DM's a really nice person.
Yeah, if the DM's kind of never given you reason to, it's the going behind the back situation.
So it's tough because you can't really go to your DM because then,
I know.
Then the DM knows
that they've been saying exactly.
Things.
It's like a catch-22, isn't it?
So I think you just need to honestly say to the other people,
yeah,
like, I think you need to lay off the DM.
Yeah, I think that's probably exactly the advice I would give, right? Is you need to privately, and like if your partner agrees as well, like if
do it together.
Yeah, if your girlfriend's with you and totally agrees with what you're saying here, maybe just have a chat with them. Like, you can just get a coffee together if you play face to face.
I don't know.
I'm not sure if you do.
Oh, you can message them.
Yeah,
you can get yourselves in a group message.
Yeah, just have a conversation about it and just say, "This is how I'm feeling."
Yeah,
I feel like
it doesn't need to be like all guns blazing.
Totally,
you just need to lay cards down the table. And like,
just DMs trying their best for us.
The DMs trying their best, and you're always questioning them. And I just like, is it like I'm asking you to stop? Like, please respect that.
Yeah,
because it's frustrating me.
Yeah,
or is it more of a like, I just want to understand why you're doing it?
I think it's a bit of both.
Yeah,
I think it's a bit of both. I think it bothers me because, especially if in game they're constantly questioning what the DM is saying and doing, and that takes away from your game time. And that pulls you out,
and it can make you uncomfortable.
Totally.
Like, if you're putting somebody else in an uncomfortable position, you can get like third party discomfort.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, I've had it before.
Yeah,
like D&D table.
Yeah. I would absolutely recommend.
I think it just needs to simply be like, this is what I'm feeling.
Yeah.
I don't know why you're doing it.
Yeah.
Like, if there's a reason, I'd love to hear it.
Could you like let me know?
Yeah.
Why?
There's nothing at the end of the day. If it's beginning to impact your fun, then that's a problem.
Yeah.
Like, and it sounds like it is, and it's impacting your enjoyment of the game.
Absolutely.
Look, I'm telling you right now, there's always going to be players that think they know better than the DM.
100%. Always.
Ever going to go away.
Totally. Always.
But, like that, like you said, it is part of the game. Like, it doesn't matter what the rules are. It doesn't matter like what you know as a player.
Yeah.
If the DM says this is how it's ruling, like that's it.
And I mean, I would maybe even suggest to these people, I would say, you're telling us all of these things that we can't change.
Yeah.
We can't change how the DM does things. If these are genuine issues that are bothering you and upsetting you, which it sounds like they are because you constantly bring them up to us, you should be honest with the DM.
Yeah.
And you should have a private conversation with the DM about it.
Like, if you've
away
got,
from the table.
If you've got like an issue with the way the game's being run, and it does, again, that doesn't need to be a hostile conversation. It can just purely and simply just be like, I wish you would maybe let me fail more. I wish you would allow us to not talk our way out of combat and things like that.
I would, you can be constructive with it and say, the things you're telling me here, like, I really wish I could do something. I can't. Why don't you just talk to our DM?
Yeah.
Because our DM has been so gracious, has been so understanding so far.
And if your DM just wants you to have a good time, they'll probably just take it on board.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Exactly. And just air them out to the DM, not us.
Not us.
Because we can't.
That puts pressure on you.
Totally. And then,
you have to keep that from the DM, who you like is probably a friend at this point.
You're in that weird position where you know information that the DM doesn't. So when something happens, your mind's going to be going on overdrive. And you're going to be like,
I bet you they're thinking this. I bet you they're thinking
exactly.
this.
And that is just so not fun.
Yeah.
And
have
you know
what?
Have a conversation. If it ends up that those players are like, it's because he's a shit DM and we think we could do better, there's your answer, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
There's your answer. And I don't know if that's the case. It sounds like from what you're saying, that's the case.
Well, let's hope it's not at that point just yet.
Yeah.
Let's hope it's definitely salvageable.
Yeah, totally.
And, the conversation needs to be had. You need to air your grievances in this and sort of find out why they're doing it.
Yep.
And then if you say to them, why don't you then bring that up with the DM?
Yeah.
Then you can get to the point of like, do they want to solve it or do they just want to whinge?
Exactly.
Because some people just want to.
Some people just want to whinge. Some people just want to whinge.
Look, like we all have that where we just want to have a whinge.
Sometimes you just want to have a little bit of whinge.
So maybe you can say, well, please don't do that to me.
Exactly.
Because it's making me uncomfortable.
Exactly.
Because I bet if they had if they thought this, but then you didn't know, you probably wouldn't care.
Yeah.
Because that pressure wouldn't be on you.
Yeah. And the final part, OP, that you said where you say, I'm starting to feel like they won't take me seriously. Mm-hmm. You don't know that.
No, if they don't.
That. And if they don't, there's your answer.
That's a problem.
If they don't respect you enough because they think they know more about D&D than you, there's your answer.
This isn't really about D&D.
No, this is about people thinking of the right way that things should be done.
Yeah, exactly.
There is no right way.
The rules and stuff, it's about D&D, but this situation is more about like, if there's a problem, we need to talk about it, not like the way that things are being ruled in D&D.
Yeah. But good on you for wanting to stand up for your DM as well.
Yeah, 100%,
good on you for
that's a great feeling.
Totally. Sounds like you have a great relationship. It sounds like you have a really good relationship. And I'm sorry that it's getting spoiled because of this. Because I'd be fucking pissed off as well.
Yeah.
But that's what I would do. Yeah. I would have a conversation with them, tell them how it affects you, ask them why they're doing it, and tell them to talk to the DM instead of you.
If the information that you get is like, I have a problem with the DM, then you need to just tell them. You need to talk to them then.
Nothing to do with me.
Yeah, well, you need to say like, well, if you have a problem with the DM,
tell the DM.
You need to tell the DM,
me.
not
totally.
me. Yeah.
Hope that helps.
Yeah, I hope that's a tough one.
That is a really tough one.
I'm sorry, that's a tough one.
Yeah, but please, if let us know. If you hear this, please give us an update. We'd love to hear it.
Yes, we would.
Okay, on to advice submission number 2.
Amazing.
So this has been submitted by Anonymous, and they go by she, her.
Podnonymous Anonoblaster.
That's all of those words in one sentence. Yep. So hello, I have found myself in sort of a pickle as a DM, and I would greatly appreciate some outside advice.
Awesome.
I'm a first-time DM running a heavily homebrewed campaign that started about 7 months ago. When this campaign started, I was randomly assigned players from my college's D&D club that I had never met before. I lucked out, and fortunately, I really like all of the players I was assigned. Brilliant. They're all creative and lovely people, and I now consider them to be my good friends.
Awesome. That's
all you could ever want. Like, truly, isn't it?
Get together
really?
with a bunch of other nerdy people.
Yeah.
Start playing D&D, and then just make friends.
Yeah, that's all you could want.
So sick.
All you could want. Our group plays in a public space on campus. In brackets, think of a library or a student union. So pretty much anyone could waltz up to the table. One day, while we were playing my campaign that I DM, someone from a different campaign that another player and myself are also in was sitting at one of the table next to ours. In brackets, I'm going to call them spectator. The pronouns are they, them. They were looking over at us, so we invited them to come sit and watch our session. I would like to note that we did not know Spectator that well, and we had never met outside of 3-hour online sessions with an 11-player party, Lord above. After we invited them over to sit with us, they started interjecting, rules lawyering, and boasting about their many years as a D&D player. They were framing it as the kind of quirky and correct thing to do while using their experience to try and force things to be less homebrew. For example, I gave a player an item that is basically an unlimited teleportation device that she can use as long as she has been to that place before. All she has to do is make a religion check and pass the DC. This hasn't been abused, and I believe that it is added to the story. But Spectator believed I should nerf the item and voiced that opinion many times from the sidelines.
Correct.
This behavior was kind of frustrating for me. Yeah, no shit.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. That sounds extremely frustrating to deal with.
But I let it slide since I thought that it was a one-time thing. Nope. They started sitting in on all of our sessions from then and continued to rules lawyer and sometimes distracting my player with side conversations and trauma dumping. They would also look behind my screen and give players information that I didn't want them to have.
What? That's fucking shit, isn't it?
Such as how much HP a monster has left, or what I rolled on my dice. What? Spectator then declared themselves, without permission or input, my co-DM. I have repeatedly corrected them on this, but they still go around telling people that they co-DM my campaign, which is beyond frustrating, because the plot, setting, stat blocks, and NPCs' character sheets, and a lot of items are things that I made from scratch and put hours and hours of work into every week without any help or input from them. Here's where the problem comes in. Spectator has been consistently voicing that they want to join my campaign, and they are just waiting for me to say the okay so that they can officially join.
They've put in a good portfolio
totally,
so far.
Totally.
They've made a good case.
OP, how do you not want Spectator?
How could you not? I think this is a problem with you.
Yeah, I think this is a you problem, DM. This person will join over my dead body.
Yeah!
Their playstyle is
fucking right.
Their playstyle is frustrating to everyone in my party because Spectator has the mentality of, I want to prove that I'm the best at D&D, and not, I want to have fun and let other people have their moments and do cool stuff too. The latter of which is very much the vibe of my campaign.
Yes.
I did a one-shot because enough of my players couldn't make it that I thought it would be fun to try run one. Spectator participated. I asked the PCs specifically not to power build their characters because this wasn't going to be combat heavy and it would make the one-shot less fun because of the way that I had made it.
That's see don't bother stacking your character because there's not really going to be any combat. It's going to be more like role playing, like a starter, and then to just go completely against that.
Guess who showed up with a power build?
The Spectator.
It was Spectator.
By any chance?
And
I am shocked. I'm taken back.
That's the biggest plot twist I've ever heard.
That is, anime plot twist.
And the entire one shot, they were going around trying to outsmart and outdo all the other PCs, resulting in everyone at the table, including me, being frustrated with him. They also exhibit behaviors that make myself and other players a little bit uncomfortable. All this to say, Spectator is an extremely bad fit for my table.
Sounds it.
One of the players is going to be graduating soon and leaving the campaign with an empty seat. I've already invited one of my friends to fill that seat and join the campaign, so that in a couple of months we can transition back to a 6-person party after the graduation in May.
Cool.
The problem is, I don't want to hurt Spectator's feelings, but I also, under no circumstances, want them at my table as a player. How do I nicely tell them that the spot that they feel super entitled to opened and I gave it to someone else? OP, you first of all, you sound like a very sweet, kind, benevolent DM.
You sound like an extremely tolerant person. An extremely, nothing really gets under your skin very quickly.
Yeah,
it takes a long time for you to get upset.
Bit of a slow burn.
Because
if that were me,
I feel like if that was either of us, I feel like I'm quite a calm person. And it takes me a very long time to get very... Margaret,
I'm the exact opposite. I have a horrible temper.
She's gone.
Really, really bad. It's something I need to work on. But OP, if this was me, Spectator wouldn't have even been invited to join the one shot.
Yeah.
Spectator wouldn't have been invited after that one time to watch games.
Do you want to know the thing that really fucking pissed me off?
Go on.
So I like to give my players very strong magic items.
Yeah.
Like very, very strong magic items.
And we love to get them.
That's why we play. Like we play to like get those awesome swords or those amazing pieces of armor or those cool trinkets that do the really cool thing. And for you to, put a magic item in the game for your play, you might be quite far through the campaign. They might have explored the whole landscape and like made a few friends and things like that.
And that hasn't been abused. Yeah. Not once.
This is the thing. It's the abusable part. Because I gave you guys there's a shop in my game that they have to blow this like pop whistle. They have to go like and they call a gnome called Nilly and a yak called Adoma. And Nilly has this like shop that she like Odoma pulls. And she rides him through the sky. And they like give gifts to adventurers and things like that. And I was like, at the beginning, I was like, if you abuse the fuck out of this, like, I may have to put some restrictions on it. Mm-hmm. We've been playing for 21 sessions. Yep. They've called
it thrice.
Three times. Thrice? Thrice, the band.
Why did I say thrice?
You've called them three times.
We've called it literally 3 times.
Yeah, 3 times.
And I remember when you gave it to us, someone was like, that's very abusable.
Oh, that's abusable. Like, and it's like, I know
we're not like that.
You aren't like that. You aren't those sorts of players.
And it sounds like you
can trust your
OP,
players.
But it hasn't been abused.
Yeah, like the thing is, you can give your players super uber duper like super powerful magic items and stuff like that. If you know that they aren't the sorts of people that would abuse them.
For example, you wouldn't give Spectator.
You wouldn't give Spectator that.
You wouldn't give Spectator
because Spectator would just flex on you.
Yeah, totally. Man, I hate that. Oh, I hate that so
Spectator
much.
would flex on you.
Yeah.
And be like, you shouldn't have given me this because look at what I'm doing with this.
Which is exactly what they did when they went into the one shot as well.
And it's like, I would change this. It's like, well, you're not fucking playing.
Yeah. This. You know what? This sounds like more like a horror story, OP.
Yeah.
This is not good. But to answer the question of how do you, regardless of what our opinions are, and regardless of what we would have done, to answer the question, how do you nicely go about telling them this? I think you answered your own question. You said you're not a good fit for the table.
That is it. Like, and the thing is, that's the truth.
That's the truth.
That's the honest truth. Yeah. You can see already by the one shot and by the advice that your co-DM has given you.
Totally. Oh yeah, your co-DM.
You are 2 different players.
Absolutely.
Like, I know that if I gave that item out to Spectator, my shop, because it has health potions and things like that.
Yeah.
It
has
like really
loads
good magic,
of great stuff.
some really great random magic items that we always roll. I know that if I give that to Spectator, they'd call it every day.
Yeah, totally.
They'd call it
totally.
every day.
Yeah, totally.
So,
like, I you have said it best yourself, and you can use examples exactly like this.
Yeah.
You can say, when we did the one shot, I said don't power build, and you did.
And you did.
And you can even,
you question my rulings, and you're not even playing.
So you obviously don't agree with how I DM. You're not going to enjoy that as a player.
No, you're not.
You're not going to enjoy me as a DM telling you these things that I know you disagree with. Yeah. And you can also say, you power built for a reason.
Yeah,
right?
because that's the sort of game
that's how you want to play, and you like it.
There's nothing wrong with that, but that's not my table.
And you can't do that at my table. Yeah. So straight from the get-go, there's things there that totally don't align with one another.
Yeah.
If it were me, I would tell Spectator to get fucked and never talk to me on my table again. But
I like the fact that you've tolerated Spectator for this long.
Yeah, kudos to you.
The thing is, it's more than you should have had to.
Absolutely.
Like, if I'll be honest, it doesn't sound like Spectator will go away.
No,
I don't think Spectator will go away.
No.
If that's the case, go play somewhere else and don't tell them.
See,
because if you can't get them to go away and they're worsening your experience of D&D, and you want to just play D&D with your mates, take it to somewhere else that they don't know.
Yeah, it might not be an option though.
It may not be an option.
I assume,
I understand that.
I assume OP probably plays in like this public space because it's like probably easier for everyone, and maybe if you're all like uni students, college is the same as uni.
Yes, yeah.
Maybe you have like shared accommodation, and so I understand the need to play there.
Oh yeah, no, but there might be other public spaces.
Totally, there could be a local game shop you could go to.
That you could go to.
Maybe you could play in someone's place once a night. There is totally options.
Yeah, I think you would have to like have a little time where you speak about it, and
absolutely.
And the thing is, it's just so unfair because, if it's ruining your time and it's making you uncomfortable, like, that sucks.
I mean, even more so than that, though, the best advice I would give here is you need to tell spectator how you feel. That first. You need to say.
That's the first step.
And the thing is, I understand you've said to them and you've told them they're not the co-DM, but obviously there's something whatever reason they're not getting it, right? Yeah. Which some people don't. Some people just don't understand unless they're told.
And I get that.
So I think it's... and it doesn't have to be this confrontation. You can still have a nice conversation with them and tell them nicely, but I would just sit them down, just them.
And it needs to be...
just them.
It needs to be honest. It needs to be clear.
Totally. There can't be any beating around the bush here.
Can't be any room for speculation.
Because it sounds like...
sounds
like spectator totally isn't getting the MO here.
Yeah.
And you need to make them understand.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be confrontational. I would just say... you wouldn't enjoy it.
You're not the player for me.
You totally wouldn't enjoy it.
It literally needs to be like, I'm sorry, but I don't want you to play at my table.
Yeah, and you say...
that needs to be said.
You don't want to hurt their feelings, so it sounds like maybe they're a friend. I don't know. But you can say, I value your friendship, but the way you're treating me and the way you insert yourself like this makes me feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And it upsets me, and it's proven. We have two totally different ways of DMing.
Yeah, we are.
So it
wouldn't be the same.
Wouldn't be fair on either of you.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be fair on either of you.
No, it wouldn't.
Man.
And then again, if they don't get the memo and they keep turning up, then that is the point where you think,
that's the point. Yeah, you can either be more firm with them.
Yeah.
Or you can
move space.
I'm sorry
which is tough. And
I am sorry that's what it's come down to.
Yeah.
But nothing can go wrong. In my opinion, without having...
yeah, that needs to be the first... honest conversation.
An honest, non-confrontational
We aren't the same sort of people. We aren't the same sort of players.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't fit in at my game. And you already question all my rules, which means you don't like the way I DM.
Yeah.
So, and that's the way I'm going to do it. Yeah. You're not going to change my mind.
And
I don't want you to play at my
get
table.
them one-on-one. That's really important. Yeah. Get them one-on-one as well.
Because that'll take a lot more pressure off you.
Totally. It'll probably take a lot of pressure off them as well.
Yeah.
So, OP, Jesus Christ, I'm sorry. That sounds like absolute hell on earth.
Yes, very sorry.
I'm really sorry.
I hope you get that sorted.
If you do, please, if you hear this, I'm going to say this every time.
Let us
know how it went. I hope that helps. And
yeah.
I'm sorry that you're in that position.
Your magic items sound cool as well.
Your magic items do sound cool. You sound like a great DM.
You do sound like a fantastic DM.
And you know what? Your table sounds great as well.
Yeah.
So well done, you. Okay. On to the next submission.
Which one's that?
I'm looking at you with the eyes for you to write down the time. So I don't know if you guys have noticed, we use chapters on YouTube, and man, when I'm editing, having just a little note of when it is.
And I keep forgetting to do it.
You keep forgetting to do
terrible.
It. So this one has been submitted by Anonymous, and he goes by he, him.
Anonyblaster. Podnonymous.
Hi, I love the show. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Me and the lads have played a couple of multiple tabletop games for years now, and I've almost always been the DM.
Me and the lads.
Yeah. A game of D&D with the lads. We're a group of 8, so it's a relatively big group because we know each other well, and we know we can make it work relatively well.
Sweet.
Recently, one of the lads has explained that he'd like to try DMing, but he has asked if we can split the group in half with me DMing 4 and him DMing 4, as he doesn't want to have to deal with such a big group for his first time DMing. Totally understandable. We will both be players in each other's DM session. I agreed to this as I am happy to help someone that is interested in DMing, and I rarely get to be a player. The problem has arisen since trying to come up with a story together. My friend is essentially taking a back seat in both story writing and all the prep. I don't think this is down to laziness, but rather a lack of confidence, and that he feels he needs to defer to me and run every little thing by me. I also feel he is accepting every idea I have as being better and perhaps not putting forward all of his own ideas. I am speculating, of course, but in terms of what we've come up with, it's about 80% me and 20% him. I am sort of okay with this because I do like DMing, but the advice I'm seeing is to do... But the advice I'm seeking is to do with trying to make my friend feel more confident as a DM, and how I can get him to really open up about his ideas and plot lines that he might have too.
Mm-hmm.
I do think he will make a good DM, and I can understand why he wants to share the burden for his first campaign. but I really feel like I might have done him more of a favor by refusing to share this burden with him. Have you ever come across a situation like this? And do you have any advice?
I haven't.
No, I haven't either. But, I feel like you are already on the right track of being like, I want him to feel more confident. I want to bring him up. Yeah. He's accepting all of my ideas because he assumes they're better. And especially if you feel like it doesn't come to laziness, then we have to take your word on that. Yeah, right?
If you're sat there coming up with all the ideas and your friend is just like accepting them and you don't think it's laziness, then it probably isn't.
Yeah, totally.
If you know them.
You know him better than we obviously do.
If you've DM'd for this person for a while, of course they're going to take, because they enjoy your session.
Yes, absolutely.
So they're going to hear your ideas and be like, that's a great idea.
Yeah, of course. And
so I think you need to be, you sound like a great friend.
Yeah, you do.
And you sound like you're very encouraging.
Yeah.
And I think when this person has ideas, I think you just need to be honest with them and be like, you're coming up with some great ideas.
Absolutely.
Like what you've just said there is fantastic.
Yeah, you need to, when he gives an idea that forward, which I'm assuming, will be good.
Well, if there's 20%, there's obviously some stuff there.
You should really, be his hype man.
Yeah, be his hype man, hype him up. And be honest with him and be like, I don't want you to just think that, like, because I've DM'd before and I've done it before you. Like,
I'm a better DM than you because that's, everyone DMs differently.
Everyone DMs differently, yeah.
Yeah.
I think you need to hype him up a little bit.
Hype him up, and make him feel like comfortable in his decisions.
You're coming up with some great ideas.
Yeah,
like,
and then
give me some more. You've obviously got some more.
Like, try to elaborate. If he gives an idea, you go, that's great. Okay, what about that?
Yeah,
how does
can we
this
lead
tie
that on?
to this?
Yeah.
How does that make them feel? What are they thinking? Do you know what I mean?
DMing is a confidence game.
Totally.
It's such a confidence game.
Totally.
And, like, if you begin to be like, that's a fucking great idea, he'll probably be like, oh, okay.
Oh, thank you.
Right,
Yeah.
Well, I had this one as well. It's all about confidence. Like, sometimes you can come away from a session that didn't go very well and your confidence is down, and that affects you in a lot of different ways.
Yeah.
So if you hype this person up and give them the encouragement, I guarantee the ideas will begin to flow. And I think you just need to be honest.
Yeah,
and just say,
totally.
Like, don't just take what I think is better than yours, because you can say, like, I think some of the things that you come up with are actually better than mine.
Yeah.
If that's the truth.
Yeah, and you know what? Could be the total other end of the spectrum here. Your friend might just be super happy with you just doing the majority. Do you know what I mean? He might genuinely be fine with it. He might not want the extra credit.
Yeah.
He might not want to do the extra things. Hey, it's the class textbook. Just have a conversation with him,
I think,
right?
Like, you need, when you have the conversation, you need to be like, are you happy with me doing most of the ideas?
Yeah, you could just say, I've noticed that a lot of the ideas in this campaign have come from me. Are you okay with that?
Yeah. And don't say it like, come from me.
Yeah.
And I'm fucking
They've
pissed.
come from me, you dummy.
I'm pissed about it.
Yeah,
you just be
they've
like,
come from me. Are you all right with that?
Are you all right with that? Because some of the stuff that you come up with is great.
Yeah.
And I think that
I think it deserves more airtime than what my stuff has.
Yeah, I think if we both work together and like 50-50 split this, like, I think we could create something better than what I could create on my own.
Totally.
God, the amount of things that if I just had somebody else's opinion on, I think my campaign would be even way, because like,
yeah, it's hard to bounce off the ideas.
You think of something and then it might be great, but you do get tunnel vision. Yeah,
absolutely.
So sometimes if you just get a little bit of a different perspective, that's why when we write your backstory, you sort of create a groundwork and then you come to me.
Well, you guys have seen it happen in real time. Yeah, like, in the last 2 videos we've done, where we've done randomly rolling for characters and BBEGs.
Yeah.
You've seen how one of us says something, then we go, and then we bounce off and bounce off and bounce off.
I think like that creative bouncing off each other creates far better things than one person. Personally.
No, I totally agree. I just think, just have a chat with him. And you know what? It might be hard, because I know it's hard to tell your friends. Like, it's hard to kind of get on that level with your friends where you're like, look, you're great. You're so talented.
Yeah.
I admire you. I love playing with you, but the things you've said to us in this submission, OP, if you just told your friend this, saying, I know he can be a great DM.
Yeah.
I know he has great ideas.
I think hearing that from you, his DM,
yeah,
would probably put his confidence through the roof.
Totally. And it's, hey, I know it's totally hard to say that sometimes.
It is.
It's hard.
It is, yeah.
But you have it all there.
Yeah, you have it all there.
Because you've just told us this.
You just told us it all.
Hey, send this to him.
Yeah.
Send this to him.
Let him listen to this.
Let him listen to this. And listen, if you're listening,
if you are listening to this,
you've got this.
You can do it.
You can totally do it.
You clearly come up with some fantastic ideas that your friend thinks are great.
Absolutely.
So
you have people who you like playing with telling you that your ideas are great.
Yeah, so. And like two brains are better than one.
Sure, totally.
So if you bounce your ideas off each other and go for gold, I think you could come up with an unreal campaign.
Absolutely.
You obviously like your DM's campaign.
Yeah.
And you want to try, and he's telling me right now, you're sick.
Well, there you go.
So there you go. That's all you needed.
There you go. You've got this.
Do it. Go for it.
Hope this helps.
Yeah.
If you're watching,
I feel like you had all the answers.
You totally.
Already.
You have. Sometimes you just need someone to tell you that you have the answers.
I feel like you already had all the answers.
Absolutely.
You just needed to hear it from us.
Absolutely. Good luck.
Yeah. Good luck. Let us know how it goes.
Sounds great. Please give us an update. We'd love to hear it. Okay. Oh my goodness, he's moving to type on the laptop. You got the crazy eyes.
I did.
Okay, so this is a submission by Grant, and he goes by he/him.
Hello, Grant.
So, I'm part of a group who have previously completed Curse of Strahd, and then I ran a campaign of the Spelljammer Academy, which ran for about 2 months.
Awesome.
We've gotten around to doing our next campaign being run by our other DM.
Cool.
I play a blue dragonborn / light cleric called Gregoris, and he's OG forever my boy. I know that feeling.
Nice.
I love clerics. However, I was hoping to play something different for the upcoming Underdark module, such as a Hexblade. But we also have no healer, and the rest of my group went martial, which are lacking in spells and heals.
Okay.
Did I do the right thing? Nobody has asked me to do this, by the way. It just seemed like I had to.
Yes. You don't need a healer. You don't need spellcasters. You can play 6 barbarians.
Don't listen, especially if no one has put the pressure on you.
No
one said anything. I promise you, you're just in your own head.
You're in your own head about it. Don't worry, seriously.
I promise you, you did the right thing. Are you going to enjoy it? Then you've done the right thing.
Yeah, if you are like play clerics a lot, want to change to something else, and then you go for like a hexblade or something like that.
Yeah,
if that's what you want to do, play it.
And
you don't need tank, healer, DPS, range DPS. That's not how it goes. You can play D&D however you want. Whatever party makeup you have, it's gonna work.
Your DM will sort it out for you.
Yeah.
We played in a nearly 2-year campaign with 3 players who. No healer. It was a wizard, a barbarian, and a warlock.
That was it.
And we didn't have heals, and we were fine.
We just got loads of healing potions.
Yeah, we were fine. We ended up getting items that kind of substituted heals.
My last campaign, Margaret started out as the healer because she thought I wanted to be the healer. Fucking hated it. She wanted to be the summoner. So she started just summoning. I was like, here you go, here's a staff of healing.
Yeah.
So she didn't have to spend the spell slots and stuff. You know, like you can work around it.
Totally.
You don't need a healer, you don't need a tank. You can sort that with magic items, or just like if your DM's struggling to balance it, magic items are a great way.
Yeah.
And just don't need them.
No.
As long as you're having fun. If you want to have fun playing a hexblade and not play a cleric, do it.
And it sounds like your friends aren't bothered.
Nah.
So I promise you, Grant, you're in your head.
If no one said anything to you, if you turned up and you were a hexblade and everyone was like, oh, cool.
Great. Yeah, exactly.
Don't worry about it.
Exactly.
Grant, just chill.
You've got it. Grant, it's fine.
It's all good.
I promise you, it's fine. Hope that helped, Grant. I hope just short and sweet.
Yeah, short and sweet. It was like the other one. You had the answer.
Yeah, exactly.
You just wanted to hear it from us.
Exactly.
Yeah, man.
I promise you.
Just play your hexblade, chill, have a good time.
Totally. Enjoy.
Especially if it's another like 2-month one.
Yeah. Enjoy.
What can go wrong?
Indeed.
Famous last words.
I know, yeah.
TPK, next session.
I know, Grant said this
we didn't have a healer!
Okay, so this next submission, tippity type. This next submission has been sent in by Dolores, or they can go by Laurie, and she goes by she, her. Dolores, what a beautiful name.
Dolores is a really nice name.
What an absolutely
really lovely name.
Beautiful name. So, hi, my name is Dolores, 24 female, pronouns are she, her, hers. I know you are both experienced players, so I could really use your advice. So weird hearing people refer to us as experienced players.
I mean, we have campaign experience.
Yeah, true. Just weird. It's just weird.
Being DMs and players.
It's so weird because
a lot of years now.
There's people that we look up to who are like your experienced players, and I'm sure they would be like, weird. So, my family knows I love playing D&D, and my teen cousins have developed a growing interest in it since they became addicted to Stranger Things. I think that's like the pipeline for a lot of people, right?
Yeah.
As a favor to their parents, I agreed to DM for them. I've never been a DM before, but I like creative writing, and I've been playing D&D for years, so I figured it wouldn't be too hard to learn. First mistake. I am now DMing a campaign for 7 of my cousins.
Wow.
Ranging from 12 to 16 years old.
Jeez.
We meet once a week in my aunt's basement and we play for 2 hours.
All right. Okay.
I decided to mostly use my own homebrewed content completely. Sorry, Dolores. Oh my goodness.
That's for you Spotify listeners.
Yeah. Creating a completely unique world and plot while also being a full-time employee. Sorry, I did a little burp. And student. Second mistake.
Okay.
Despite the steep learning curve, it has been fun at times.
Yeah.
A few of my cousins are fantastic players. They try their best to roleplay, even though they're shy and new to the game. They've gotten super invested in their characters and the plot, and they get excited every single time I make custom material for them. It's been a joy to DM for them, and it feels like my time and effort isn't being wasted. Wonderful.
Awesome.
The problem has come with my aunt's sons. They're nice kids, and I enjoy hanging out with them normally, but I have no idea why they even show up for our sessions. They refuse to put any effort into their characters. They have no backstories, no personalities beyond macho and strong, no goals, and I had to push them just to decide on what their character looks like. They complain that they have nothing to do, but every time I engage with their PCs and give them opportunities to roleplay, they're clearly bored and try to get the interaction over quickly. One complained that we hadn't had a combat encounter in a while being 2 sessions, which is 4 hours in total. And the other had to remind him that this is a role-playing game, to which he said it is dumb.
Okay.
The youngest in particular argues with me throughout every session, complains the rules are stupid, mocks the music we play and handouts I make, insults every friendly NPC, and is constantly trying to split the party and murder hobo his way through the campaign, despite his cousins begging him not to. I genuinely think they would have more fun playing Valorant or League of Legends on their computers like they usually do, but they still come downstairs to play every week. It's been really hard to not get frustrated and give up. I don't want to quit DMing since half the group is truly enjoying the campaign and they want to keep playing, but I'm dreading the more serious plot points and cinematic scenes that will be coming up, since I know the boys are going to purposely destroy any tension I try to create with giggles and ruin the moment for the entire table. Like I said, I know I like my cousins, so I don't want to hurt their feelings, but I don't know what to do. I know I've put myself in this situation and the burnout is my fault, but is there any advice you could give me to make this a little less painful? First of all, Laurie, this is not your fault.
No.
I feel like you're being really harsh on yourself, being like, I'm in this position because of me, the burnout's my fault. It's not. I promise you it's not. That is a very, very regular, normal thing when you're being so creative and you feel like you're not getting anything back from it. This is really tough one.
It's so tough because it's family.
Yeah.
Like it's tough because if they're not enjoying it, which it sounds like they're not,
totally.
Maybe they need to hear it from you. It's like, look, if you don't want to play,
you don't have to play.
You don't have to.
Because you say, right, as a favor to their parents, you agreed to do it.
The problem is, it's in their house.
I know. Yeah, because I think that's what it is, right?
In the aunties. These are the 2 aunties.
Because she said
children.
The problem comes with my aunt's sons, and we play in my aunt's basement.
See, that's the problem.
It sounds like, especially if you started this as a favor to them, right? And they obviously don't enjoy it, and they still come down every week. Sounds like aunt, you might want some alone time.
Yeah, and that's fine.
Yeah.
Like, man, like if
totally.
you've got 2 kids, we don't know because we don't have any kids. No, we have a dog.
Yeah.
And, like, we understand, it can be taxing and tiring
totally.
And things like that.
And it sounds like potentially that your auntie's being like, you need to go play with your cousin.
Go and play with your cousin.
Again, we don't know if this is the situation, right?
I think you need to be honest with the boys and just say, like, look, You don't have to come down if you don't want. You can go play on your PCs if that's what you want.
You should honestly say, look, are you guys enjoying this?
Yeah, because if they don't want to do it.
Yeah, like, do you even like playing the game? Because you don't have to do this. You don't have
to play if you don't want to.
And, there could be, like, a happy medium here, right? Your cousins who still want to play, still play with you.
Still play with you.
Because it sounds like you're all, from that perspective, having a great time with each other,
and it sounds like you enjoy DMing for those members of your family. It's
just the two boys who are making things worse. And it sounds like you mentioned the youngest, and you said they range from 12 to 16. A 12-year-old boy. I mean, I don't know. I was going to say 12-year-old boy probably doesn't want to sit in his basement, like, playing D&D. But at 12 years old, I fucking would have loved to do that.
Yeah, I would have loved to do that as well.
You know your cousins best, right? And if you're saying they would probably be preferring to play on their computer.
Or give them that option.
Yeah. And, if for whatever reason your auntie does just want them out of the house or down in the basement for a while, could you potentially move the PCs down there?
Yeah, for the 2 hours.
Could you bring like a projector down so they could watch something or play something?
Yeah.
Do they have handheld switches that they could play?
Yeah. Like, if the auntie wants some alone time, then they can still come down but do something else. Yeah. Like if they were told, like, you can come in the basement and just like chill out over there and play
how about you
Valorant?
Just sit in? You could just, you don't have to be playing with us to be down here. Yeah.
Yeah. I think asking the boys if they actually want to play is the first step.
Totally.
Then, go from there. But they might, I don't know, because if they do say, oh yeah, no, we do want to play.
Well, then if they do say that, you can be like, okay, well, what's the part you enjoy about playing?
Yeah.
What makes you want to play with us?
Sounds like the combat.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, totally. Say, what makes you want to play? Because if that's what you enjoy, then I can try do more of that. But there has to be give and take.
There have to be a bit of both.
Your cousins are really enjoying this.
Yeah, the rest of it.
Yeah, it's hard when you're dealing with family and you're dealing with slightly younger people as well. Because of course they don't have the...
Maybe they can just join in the combats.
Yeah.
Maybe you can be like, right, we're on initiative, do you want to come in?
Yeah.
And they can just, they can just be like NPCs when you're not out of combat.
Yeah.
And then in combat, they can take control of those NPCs and play.
Yeah.
Then they can go and sit on the switches or play Valorant for like the other hour. And then when you do the combats, they can come in.
Yeah. I think you just need to ask them if they enjoy playing it.
Yeah.
And
there's like a couple of other suggestions if
they do.
Yeah,
totally. But this, this does sound like a tough situation, especially because everyone involved is quite young.
Yes. And family. Which is also, there's different. It's not just as simple as like, I don't want to play, get them gone.
Yeah.
It's different.
But I would totally talk to them and see what the options are going forward.
Definitely.
It's really the best advice we can give here.
Yes.
Because it's tough not being in that situation.
Yeah.
But again, talk to them. Find out if they like it. If they don't like it, what are the other options?
Yeah.
Can
they move the PCs down there?
Yeah.
Or can they just join in at the combats?
Can they just not turn up if they don't want to? Could they go to a friend's house, etc., etc.? There's so many options.
I don't know if the auntie will be too happy that you're still coming over to play in the basement but not entertaining the kids. You don't know. I don't know how close your family ties are.
Yeah, I would totally have the conversation with the kids, and then after that, if you need to, go to their mum.
Yeah.
And talk to their mum as well and explain the situation. Yeah. But you've got this.
Yes.
I'm sorry that you're feeling so burnt out and stressed out because of it.
It's okay.
It is okay. That's normal. Like, I promise you that's normal.
DM burnout is and it can be, kids are kids.
Like,
they don't take into account feelings sometimes
and
when they
say
yes.
and having to,
and, they probably don't understand that you put in hours of prep and stuff like that.
Their behavior isn't all right. The fact that they're like, oh, I'm bored. There's nothing to do. They're laughing.
Not really fair.
That is so. I was going to say demoralizing. I don't know if that's the right word.
It can be demoralizing to hear that when you've spent the planning time in the week. And everyone else seems to be enjoying it, but then they aren't.
And they're your younger cousins, and it's
tough.
It's hard,
but it's okay. Look, you've got it.
Yeah,
you're a great DM.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone else seems to enjoy it.
Your other cousins are loving it.
Don't take it to heart.
Totally. You got this.
It can get there. It can go straight to the heart.
Of course it can. Of course it does. Anything creative that comes out of you, of course it can go straight to the heart. So. Good luck. Yes. Talk to him. Talk to the kids.
Let us know how it goes.
Totally. Please do. Okay. This is
6.
Is it 6? You've
I hope it's 6.
it's 6.
It's 6 now.
I have completely stopped putting in numbers because there's just no point.
Number 6.
Because I just never know. So this has been submitted by Sarah, and she goes by she, her.
Thank you, Sarah.
So, hi guys, I'm new to D&D and I would love to play, but my problem is my schedule's all over the place thanks to medical issues. Do you have any advice for working around this?
Okay, nice. Okay, sounds like. Yes.
First of all, sorry to hear about your medical issues, Sarah.
Yeah, sorry to hear about it. Sorry,
hope you're okay.
That's taking up a lot of your schedule.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need to probably find a pretty flexy group.
Yeah.
And there are groups out there like that.
Absolutely, of course there are. Cause
if you were playing with me and Margaret, it's fine.
Yeah, wouldn't matter.
Like we don't on a nighttime. We're very busy through the day, but on the nighttime, the free. So you know,
wouldn't matter.
Matthew's the same. Josh is the same. I'm the only one with the slightly more restricted schedule.
Yeah.
Like, you need to find a group like that.
Yeah.
You need to find a group that's sort of like we don't play massively regularly.
Mm-hmm.
When we do, we just pick a date that works.
Yeah.
We've played with a group like that. We played once a month, and it was just sort of we find the date that's free, and then we pick that date and we play.
Sorry, who? What did
Remember
we?
We played with, you played Ymir and I played Brennan.
Yes. Sorry. Wow, my mind completely drew a total blank there. Yeah. Yes.
Like we were playing with people who were slightly older than us. You know, they had like busy schedules with work and stuff like that.
Of course.
So what they did was instead of playing
every week
or every 2 weeks, they played once a month, but they played all day.
Yeah, and then they just worked out, right, what days is everyone free?
Yeah.
When can we do it? And I understand that you might not have this luxury because, like you said, your schedule is all over the place, which I'm assuming means that it changes regularly.
Yeah.
But best advice is, and it depends on how you want to play as well. If you want to play face-to-face, if you want to play online, but regardless, finding a flexible group.
Some people do those like less frequent, but when they play for a longer time.
Yeah.
Like those sessions happen as well.
Yeah.
But then, you know, in those sessions, we had like a group chat where we put in like other things that we were doing while we weren't playing.
Yes.
So we were still technically like role playing with our friends and stuff like that in the group.
Just we were doing other stuff in it as well.
Yeah. And you know, you can find like Discord servers where you play and then in the downtime, if you don't play for very long,
you can have the chats in between.
You have the chats,
yeah, that's a very common thing. That's apparently.
That's a common thing.
So there's totally options out there.
Yeah. I know the ideal and, you know, what people expect and what's normalized probably by things like Critical Role is we play every week, we play this time, we play this day, we play this long.
Sometimes schedules,
life's just not like that.
Yeah. And
that's fine.
You know, going beyond that, so you found a group who are willing to be flexible. Mm-hmm. There probably is times, Sarah, where you won't be able to make it.
Yeah.
But that applies to everyone.
Yeah.
There's probably times where people simply just can't make it. The schedule can't be moved, etc.
Mm-hmm.
You need to find a group who aligns with what you're happy with happening without you there.
Yes.
You need to find a group who would... First of all, you need to work out yourself. If you miss a session, what are you happy your character doing? Are you happy someone else playing them?
Yeah.
Are you happy them kind of just...
NPCing.
Yeah, NPCing a little bit.
With them just staying in the town for the day.
Yeah.
I think, you need to be happy with what happens with your character if you're not there and you can't make it. And then also find a group that very clearly states, if I'm not there, do we still play?
Yes.
Or if one person can't make it, we all just don't play.
Exactly.
Like, and, you know, we have a rule now. Nobody ever doesn't make it in our group for some reason. Yeah. Everyone just turns up. But if one person can't play, we'll still play.
Yeah.
If two people couldn't play, then we'll just call it off.
But normally we'll be able to, but just continuing without them, we can probably change the schedule a little bit.
Yeah. And you know, you might find a group like that.
Yeah.
Oh, this day doesn't actually work for me. Or can anybody else do another day?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we're all free. You know, like some groups have that flexibility.
So, you know, we're telling you groups like that exist. We promise groups like that 100%. Exist. But work out what you're happening with your character. I would also suggest be honest with what your schedule is like.
Mm-hmm.
Get them to be honest. And then maybe if you can't make it, could they maybe set up a live stream for you to watch?
Yeah, like later on.
So you could just watch it. Could they record it? Will the note taker take extensive notes to then send to you afterwards so you know exactly what went on?
Matthew used to record. He just got like a little...
Just a room mic.
A little Blue Yeti room mic.
Yeah.
And he used to put it down to record all our sessions. That was more for him.
Yeah.
But, you know, that would be good if you couldn't make it.
You could... Phones nowadays, you can just record a whole session. That's what I used to do when I DM'd. I recorded the whole session on my phone. could things like that happen?
Yeah. If you couldn't make it, you still wanted to be there.
Exactly.
You can be there by listening to the whole session.
Exactly. If you can't be there presently, if it's a face-to-face thing, you can't actually physically be in the room with them. Could they just phone you in?
Yeah.
Could they just Skype you in?
We also
Skype. Oh God, how old do I sound there? What do the kids use now?
You're living up to your name there, aren't you?
Skype.
Skype with the kids. Skype with the kids. D&D.
They can zoom you in.
They can zoom you in.
They can disc you ads now.
There's other groups that
we're making a Skype server, not a Discord server.
Yeah, imagine. Come on, Podblasters over to the Skype, the Skype server.
Sorry,
we had another group that this was during COVID, like at the end of just after COVID, when everyone could sort of meet up again, where we all met up. But if someone couldn't make it, they just remoted in.
Yeah.
And that can be a thing as well.
Yeah.
Like if you can still play but you can't be there, are people happy to like just set up a laptop with your face on it?
Absolutely.
Like that's another thing. If you need to just find out like how much the group's willing to do.
Yeah.
And groups will do that.
They will, of course they will.
100% do that.
I would, first of all, sit down with yourself, come to the conclusion about all those things we mentioned first, what you're comfortable with, what you would like if you're not there, how often you can play or not play, and then search for the groups, be honest, you'll find someone, I promise. You will.
You totally will.
100%.
So. I believe you will find someone.
Yeah.
I genuinely believe you will find someone.
I hope that helps, Sarah.
Yeah, I hope it does.
Again, we don't really have experience with this personally, so...
I feel like we do. We just
yeah, but we don't have...
True.
Like,
we've played in groups that play bi-weekly, play monthly, play weekly.
Yeah. We've had someone phone in.
We've had people phoning in,
phone a friend.
Rules when somebody doesn't turn up, do we still play and stuff like that. So, all of those things are possible. You can definitely play, Sarah. 100%.
Hope that helps, Sarah. And again, sorry to hear about your medical issues, but we hope you're okay.
Let us know if you find a group.
Please let us know if you find a group.
Love to hear if you find a group.
Please do. I promise. When we get our Skype server,
our
obviously,
Skype server,
we'll have a looking for group function.
We'll probably get an MSN as well.
MSN, Windows Live Messenger. Yes, we will. Okay, on to the next one.
Okay.
Oh, he turned automatically. Thank you.
1, 2, 3.
So, this has been sent in by Texas Traveler, and they go by they, them.
Texas Traveler.
So, long-time listener, third-time caller.
Third-time caller? Calling in.
We're phoning in a friend. We're phoning in Texas Traveler.
Phoning in Texas Traveler.
I run a game with 5 players. One is my wife. 2 of them are our collective friends. The 2 are more my wife's friends. They have a lot of opinions and expectations. One is a movie buff with incredibly strong media opinions. The other is a zealous fan of TTRPG shows like Dimension 20 and Critical Role.
Mm-hmm.
My question for Jack is, do you ever feel like you're not doing a good job as a DM? The next day after every session, I feel like I have let everyone down in some way. How do you handle the pressure or the doubts, if you have any?
Okay. This is a submission that hits very close to home.
Yeah, I know.
Because Margaret knows that I suffer very much from being like, I could have done that better.
Yeah.
That session wasn't that good. I should have done this and I should have done that. And I didn't plan enough and I didn't do this and I should have done that.
Yep.
Like the doubts are rife in my head.
Oh yeah.
But I also have the most supportive group on earth who are like, you're the best DM ever lived. I can't believe we have you as a DM. You're the most amazing DM ever.
We do love to hype you up. We do love to hype because you are a great DM. Because that's the thing. You are a great DM. And we love playing your games. And you're not alone in that feeling.
No, I'm not.
Every single person I have ever known who has DM'd me when I DM'd, everyone has these feelings. And you, Texas Traveler, you also have these feelings.
It's totally fine.
That is such a normal, common, human thing to feel.
As I said literally earlier in this podcast, DMing is a confidence game. If you have a great session, everyone's like, that was sick. You go into planning that week like, let's go.
Yeah.
I can take on the fucking world. Yep. Matt Mercer, who? I'm the best DM. Like, it does that to you. When you're like, you come off the back of a great session, you're on a high, and then that helps.
Yes.
I think...
It's like a crash, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
You have such a great time. You're on that high. The second that high goes, you plummet.
Yeah.
But that's a natural human response. I promise. That's totally normal.
It is. Two things. If you're not getting the affirmation from your group that you would like, which, by the way, is a totally normal thing.
Oh, yeah.
To want to be told, like, that was a great session.
Yeah, of course.
Just telling you right now, if you aren't a DM and you're a player, and, you know, you love your DM and you think they're great and that was a really good session, tell them.
Tell them.
For the love of God.
Share the love.
Just tell them. Just be like, that was a great session, thanks.
Yeah.
That just makes them go, oh, thanks.
Thank you.
Like,
yeah,
thanks
totally.
so much. Like,
that's
that makes...
once again human nature. We want to be told we're doing well. We want words of affirmation.
You know, we play D&D because we want to have a good time with our friends.
Yeah, of course.
You DM because you want to tell a story for your players to enjoy,
and you want them to have a good time.
If you don't know they're enjoying it, it's fucking hard.
Yeah, of course it is.
It's honest. Do you want to know one thing that I would suggest? Because I can guarantee they're all having a great time.
Yeah, and again, I promise you're saying one's a huge movie buff. One of them loves Critical Role and Dimension 20. You know that about them, so it's in the back of your head. Yeah. They're probably not thinking those things when they're playing your game.
They're probably not.
Yeah.
They're probably just happy that they're playing D&D and they get to play every week and stuff like that.
Exactly.
Tell you what, just a little trick. As soon as you finish playing, or like when everyone's packing up and finishing up, just literally say, did you enjoy that? Was that good?
Yeah.
Because then if they go, oh yeah, that was great.
You know,
done.
There you go.
You understand that they're having a good time.
There you go.
Look, not realistic people understand that you aren't Matt Mercer.
Yeah, of course
realistic
they do.
People understand that you
aren't. They know you're not Brennan Lee Mulligan. They know you're not Brennan Lee.
Yeah.
They know
they understand
these things.
that you're probably a person who goes to work with a job and plans this on a night time the day before or a few days before the session, and you know they understand that. They aren't expecting you to be Matt Mercer. They aren't expecting you to be Brennan Lee Mulligan. They aren't expecting those things from you. The fact that, let me tell you, look at me. Look
in his eyes.
You're doing a fucking great job.
Yeah, totally.
You are. Take it from me. The fact that you plan a session every week and allow, because without you, the game doesn't happen.
Well, exactly. What would they be doing without you?
Yeah, because
they wouldn't be playing.
They wouldn't be playing.
Yeah.
One of them would have to take on the pressure of DMing.
Yep.
So, look, to all you DMs out there, doing a good job.
You are.
We all you players, tell your fucking DM that they're doing a good time.
Tell him.
But yeah, after the session, just say, did you enjoy that?
Yeah.
Just simple. Yeah. And if they go, oh yeah, then you go, done.
Great.
Done.
And you know what? If for whatever reason they go,
not really.
You go, okay, what could have been changed?
Done. There we go.
There you go.
Oh, there you go. I would have enjoyed the combat to be a bit tougher.
Yeah.
Next week, toughest fucking combat I've ever had. The toughest combat I've had.
Exactly.
But the thing is, like, you are just a person who's dungeon mastering for other people. And, you know, you've got a way of running your session and you've got a way of playing your game. If that's not exactly like some other people want straight away, that's not a bad thing. Yeah. You haven't done anything wrong.
No, because everyone, of course, is different.
You know, new DMs and players will learn how to play together.
Yeah, of course.
You know, because if someone goes, oh yeah, I really enjoyed that. I do wish there was some more roleplay though.
Oh, there you go.
Done.
There you go.
Do you know what I mean?
There you go.
That's a way to get a bit of feedback.
Absolutely.
Like, oh, did everyone enjoy that?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Like, how did you find that today? Just a simple question to gauge like the feelings.
Yeah.
And you probably get a little bit of feedback. But back to it. It is a normal way to feel.
It is. It's a normal way to feel when you're in a group, especially like a social group of people that, you know, they look to you a lot for things. You are essentially in charge of the session.
Yeah.
So that's very normal. I promise.
It's so weird. It's so hard to express, but you are thinking of these things that you're like, oh, this is what I would want to experience, and like that's what Dungeon Masters do.
Yeah,
it's like this is the game I would want to run.
Yes.
You know, if you're not hearing that affirmation, and or maybe you're hearing something negative, you can take it personally.
Yeah, of course.
Because
naturally,
you know, somebody's like not attacking, but like questioning what
no,
you find
I sincerely
fun.
doubt that's
no,
attacking,
I know. I'm not saying that they're attacking. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is if people don't like what you do, you can take that personally.
Yeah, because it comes
and it can hurt you, because it comes from the heart.
It's a creative thing.
It's a creative thing.
It's easy to get hurt over creativity.
It's like if you create a piece of music and someone doesn't like it.
Absolutely,
it's like, I spent fucking ages doing that.
Yeah, it hurts.
It hurts,
yeah.
but trust me, it'll take years and years and years and years for you to come to terms with that. If someone doesn't like what you create,
and even then, will it ever really go away?
Potentially not. But at the same time, just know that doesn't mean it's bad.
Exactly. Just because you're thinking, oh God, they had a bad time, I promise it doesn't mean they are. Yeah. And again, I know you say that they have a lot of opinions and expectations. Yeah. If they've never made that known to you, don't worry about it.
You're probably just putting that on yourself.
Yeah, you are.
You're probably just putting that on yourself.
You are. You're putting all this expectation.
It's very normal. And I felt it. And every DM who's ever DM'd has felt it. Mm-hmm. Like, man, I hope they're enjoying it. Mm-hmm. Because why would you want your players to enjoy it? Yeah. So it's a very normal thing. Yeah. So don't worry about it. Just
ask the question, did everyone enjoy that? And they'll give you the affirmation you need. Yeah. And if for whatever reason they don't, they'll tell you.
You can work on it. It's not the end. If they say no in that moment, it's not the end. You're not a terrible DM.
Nope.
You can just do some things to make your players enjoy it.
And you obviously care, right?
Because obviously, otherwise
you
sat here
going, oh, do you ever feel like you let them down? You haven't. I promise you haven't.
I promise you haven't. Your feelings are valid.
They are. They really are. Players out there, right now, send your DM some love.
Just last session
was great.
That was great. I
loved it.
Yeah.
I love the way you do this. I love it when you do that. This was so much fun. Thank you for...
That'll make their day. Yeah. That'll make their week.
Indeed.
Just always tell your DM, because it is a lot to DM. It is a lot.
Indeed.
Just let them know. What's the dog doing?
I know you guys can't see. He's currently stood.
He's just stood with his head.
Because our back door is right behind me. Yeah. We have curtains that go to the floor, and he has currently got his head underneath the door. Let me take a picture of your phone. I'll put a picture up. Wow. I'll put that picture in, friends. We are back. You know what? This made me think loads of people were asking for a dog cam or for the dog to come on the podcast with us. Listen, you don't want that. I'm telling you.
It would be the most useless camera.
Oh, yeah. I'm telling you for a solid fact, you would not want that.
You put it down, you'd see him for about 2 seconds and then he'd get up and he'd start winding up.
Yeah. We actually, I think we're going to. Because he likes to be elevated off the floor.
He likes to be next to you.
Yeah, and
he's a very cuddly dog.
He's a very cuddly
Anyone
boy.
who owns a terrier,
you'll know,
Staffordshire terrier,
you'll know.
They just want to be cuddled all the time. So this is hell for him.
Oh, because he can't be on the level with us. So he likes to be on the bed with us. Obviously, he likes to be on the couch. I think we're gonna get maybe an armchair or something so we can keep him near us. I don't know if you guys will be able to see him. Let's be honest.
Potentially not. But if we get an armchair and he sits still, then maybe there might be
there's a potential we could have a dog cam.
We could have a puppy cam.
There's a potential, but until then, I am telling you, you don't want
it. You might do, but you won't see much.
Trust me. Okay, so on to the next one. This is number 8. Okay, so this is submitted by Anonymous, and they go by she, her.
Okay. Anonymous, she, her.
Thank you for your submission. So, hello, I need advice because I feel like my DM is singling me out.
Okay.
Recently, I just started a new campaign with some of my best friends, as well as some people that I didn't know prior to this. The DM has been my best friend for the last few years, and this is her first time DMing. The world we are playing in is a homebrew world that I created, and I have run a few one-shots out of, but when she expressed an interest in running a full-on campaign, I was more than happy to let her use and explore my world.
Cool.
That's great of you. That's cool that your friend wanted to explore your world too.
Yeah.
The first problem arose during character creation. She wasn't sure what level she wanted everyone to start at, and she asked my opinion. Knowing what I did about the story, I recommended she started us about 3 or 4. After looking over my character sheet and backstory, she decided that I would start as level 3 because my character is an Order of the Lycan Blood Hunter, has a military background, and some other reasons as well. Fast forward to our session 0, and I find out that everyone else is only level 2. I privately asked her why this was, and she explained that because of their backstories, it didn't make sense for them to be higher than that.
Okay.
This made sense to me, and even though I was a little worried about how leveling would work, I didn't want to step on her toes, so I dropped it. Then a couple of games in, she was making a few snarky comments like, well, since you're a higher level, and I don't know why you need help since you're higher level than everyone else. I wasn't bothered by these jabs because she picked my level. But when I brought it up, she expressed that she just wants it to be clear to the other players that even though we're best friends and this is my world, she isn't playing any favorites. I understand the whole not playing favorites thing and making that clear, but to go out of your way. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, I need the rest of the story.
Yeah, no, you do. Sorry. Then it came time to level up. She's doing milestone leveling, and after a particularly hard fight in which I did most of the sword swinging, everyone else was trying to free a trapped party member while I held off the creatures, she announced that everyone could take a new level except for my character since I was already a higher level than everyone else. Part of me understands why she did it, but the other part of me almost feels as though I'm being punished for something that I had no control over. Another thing that's irking me is 2 of the other members that leveled up had missed games, but were still allowed to level up when I wasn't. Now, I'm not one to wallow, so I brought this up to her privately after the session, and again, I was hit with the, I don't want anyone to think I'm playing favorites. My character also has quite a bit of backstory that I made very clear I wanted to reveal slowly through roleplay. Well, 10 minutes into our last session, she revealed a bunch of it to the party, which put me on the spot. I messaged her mid-game, and I asked if she would be willing to slow down the lore reveal, and she told me, no, it's part of the story. If you didn't want me to say it, then you shouldn't have written it. Because of her spilling a bunch of character backstory, it's making me feel less attached to my character since I wasn't able to reveal it in a way that made sense to her. Another scenario is, sorry, this is a longer one, obviously.
Yeah,
but I feel
it's
like
absolutely fine.
It's a great one, and it's
it's good.
It's
good.
great to have all the backstory to this.
It's not good.
No,
but it's good to hear.
Yeah. Another scenario is when she wouldn't let me use a bonus action during combat because it doesn't seem fair since the character before me didn't have a bonus action to use. I expressed interest in my character dual classing, so multi-classing as a warlock or a cleric because of her backstory, and she snapped at me stating, I don't understand why you need to have the most OP character. I already started you as a higher level, and I let you play werewolf. Which was confusing since, again, she picked my level, and I triple-checked she was alright with me playing the Blood Hunter since a critical role class and it's not in the canon game. One of the biggest issues I've had is her calling my character boring, mean, etc. My character is the only human of the party. I introduced her as a human fighter with the intentions of revealing her true class later. I also don't think she's mean, and nobody else has had a problem with her. The biggest thing is out of the rest of the party, my character is most willing to do the fighting, snarky, and she isn't afraid of combat, so maybe that's being taken as my character is mean. She's also been interrupting me during roleplay, correcting me when I mention town names or god names when I created the world and I know how to say it, and all around it's making me feel extremely singled out and not enjoying this because sorry.
It's okay.
Making me feel extremely singled out and I'm not enjoying the game as much. I've heard from other players as well that they've noticed this because that's not at all how she's been with them. And outside of the game, she's like she always is. But as soon as I bring up D&D, it's like something switches in her. She expressed early on that she was a little nervous about DMing for me since I'm usually one who does. So I'm worried that she feels like I'm stepping on her toes or I'm judging her.
Sounds like it.
Any advice would be lovely because I'm just not sure what to do. Thank you in advance.
Man,
that is a lot.
So much.
Man, that first of all, OP, that sounds like a horrible situation to be in. And I think you're right. I feel like your DM is singling you out.
Well, yeah, I think the DM was a she.
Yes, DM is a she.
Were they both she?
Both go by she, her, yeah.
Both she, her. I think the DM is singling you out.
Yeah,
and I do think they're letting that sort of like, you're the normal DM, this is your world, sort of bleed over and...
Totally.
I don't like the party ever not being the same level personally.
Yeah.
And if you're milestone leveling, like that, like why would you start a character at a higher level and then level everybody else up and then not allow you to level?
Yeah, I agree.
That just feels bad.
That does feel bad. Like regardless of the fact that even if, we don't know, you would level all at the same time next time, it still feels bad,
and
especially when your DMs picked that for you.
Yeah, like
and you triple checked.
And by the way, they came to you and said, "I don't know what level to start the party at," and you said 3 or 4, and then they were like, "Okay, yeah, you can be level 3," and then everyone else is level 2. That's unfair.
That is unfair.
That's unfair. Like that's unfair on everybody else at the beginning, and then unfair on you.
Yeah.
To then not get to level up with everyone else because you've been through just as much as everyone
totally.
else.
That's yeah, totally.
Also, I know that it's not a. I think it is technically now. Bloodhunter is technically now part of.
Yeah, I think it is part of the actual like canon
D&D
stuff.
stuff.
So, but I understand the hesitancy for a new DM.
I know, but it's been play tested.
Yeah,
and it's not an OP class.
Yeah, and again, well done that you double checked and everything. Yeah. But if she wasn't comfortable with it, she shouldn't have let you be a blood hunter.
Like I let you be. It's like you didn't have to.
And I let you be a werewolf.
Like you should. Your DM can't hold that over you.
No, because
she can't hold that over you.
Especially, it sounds like OP. You have been very open and honest with your DM, and you have gone and you have said, "Can I do this? Is it okay if I do this?"
Like it's not unbalanced.
No.
And like it sounds like she's treating it as like, oh well, you picked the super OP class and stuff like that. And look, like. Multi-classing can be powerful, but like as long as you've asked your DM, am I okay to multi-class? Like if they say yes, it doesn't matter. It's part of the game. It's in the game for a reason.
Yeah, and I you know what? To get onto the favorites thing, I totally get that your DM wants to make it clear off the bat that there are no favorites, because especially if you've not played with other people before. But there's a way to do it which isn't picking on that person.
And it's also not being like, by the way, I'm not going to pick any favorites.
Yeah, the way, no favorites.
You can just, like, I DM for 3 people and basically my wife.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I don't treat Margaret any differently, but I've never had to come out and be like,
by the way, just so you know, I'm not preferential treatment.
Like, I just let it come out in the game.
Yeah,
like,
totally.
I treat you are a player just like everybody else is.
Yeah,
you have to follow by the same rules.
I think that was something that we were worried about, really, I think. Yeah. Well, it was something I was worried about. Maybe not so much you. Like, when you started DMing, I was like, I really hope people don't think you're going to treat me different.
No.
Or, like, I'm taking advantage of you or anything like that. But, again, we're just kind of not that type of people.
No.
And our friends also aren't that type of people either.
And, like... It sounds like that has then that whole favorites thing has bled over.
Totally.
Especially with this whole bonus action thing. It's like
come on. What's the point in even playing by the whole bonus action?
We have in my party we have Matthew who uses his bonus action every round.
Yeah.
And then we have Josh and Abby because you sometimes bonus.
I sometimes bonus action heal myself because don't know if you guys know.
Oh my god.
I play a moon druid. And one of the aspects of a moon druid is as a bonus action I can heal myself.
You can drop the mic and...
I'm out.
See you later.
I've dropped the word moon buoyed.
Bye, Margaret. Moon what?
No.
Moon buoyed?
No.
Moon buoyed.
I shouldn't have even said anything. I stopped and looked at you and you hadn't noticed. I shouldn't have said anything.
Moon buoyed.
Moon buoyed.
Yeah, but the internet would have heard.
No.
Everyone out there would have heard.
No. Sorry. Yeah, sorry. Okay.
So, like, Margaret can heal herself with a bonus action and also, like, wild shape because she's a moon druid.
And rage.
And rage because she's a multi-classed into barbarian. And Matthew's got cunning action.
Yeah.
And I do have 2 players at the table who don't.
Yeah.
But they're casters.
And would you ever be like, you can't use that?
Yeah, like I wouldn't come to Matthew and be like, oh, he can't use it because Josh didn't get to use his.
That's
is
not
how the game works. That's
playing favorites.
Literally like, that's the opposite of what you were trying to do, which is not make somebody your favorite by then making them your least enemy. Favorite. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like just because somebody else didn't get to do it, like the game is built around action, bonus action, reaction, movement.
Totally.
Combat is what it's built for.
Like that is clear favoritism. And I think by her being like, I don't want to play favorites, it's like you said, she's actually made you the person she's actually the worst to try and prove for whatever reason.
She obviously feels like she had something to prove by DMing for you and not allowing you to like take advantage of her or something.
Totally gone the wrong way about it.
She's gone so far the other way and now is making it hard for you.
Yeah. And
because like I want you to feel some validation here. She is making it hard for you.
She is singling you out.
She is singling you out.
She is. And you mentioned it yourself, OP. You said Does she feel like I'm stepping on her toes?
Yeah.
Does she feel like I'm judging her? And you know what? I think especially because she's using your world.
Yeah.
I think that barrier's gone up.
Yeah.
And she feels like, it sounds like she's being quite defensive about it.
Yeah.
And she's gone about it the wrong way. If she truly is your friend, she should have recognized that she's going about it the wrong way.
But obviously she hasn't. So
No.
I think if she is your friend, she will be willing to have an open conversation with you.
An actual conversation with you.
And you just have to talk about it and just be like, look, I feel like you've gone so far to treat me not as a favourite.
Yeah.
I'm actually like...
You're actually upsetting me.
You're actually upsetting me by treating me so differently.
You're intentionally being what I perceive you to be quite nasty. Now, OP, you said you've tried every time you bring D&D up, she switches. I think you need to have a one-on-one, private, book the time in with her and say, hey, I want to talk to you about D&D. I want to talk to you about our game. And you know what? To me personally, there's nothing scarier than someone being like, we need to talk.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know what your friend is like, and I don't know what relationship you have, but you know, you can just say, I want to talk to you about D&D, and there's some things that are upsetting me, and I'd really like to talk to you as my friend, not my DM, as my friend.
Bring these things up.
Everything. All of the examples you've given us here, these are exact examples you should give your DM.
These are exactly what your DM needs to hear.
Yeah, and you need to... It's going to be hard. I say it every time. It's going to be hard. You need to say... You can't just be like, oh, you said this, and then you made this snarky comment, because they can very easily come back and say, I didn't mean it in a snarky way. What you have to say is, you said this, and it made me feel like this.
This is the way it's made me feel.
That's how I felt.
That's what's the important thing here.
Yeah.
Because, you know, she could say these things and they could just be like water off a duck's back and no one cares.
Yeah, totally.
But the fact that they've upset you is the problem.
Yeah. And then say, and it made me feel like this, and it's making me think this.
Yes.
Is that what you meant?
Yeah.
And chances are she'll go one of two ways. She'll go, no, I never meant to make you feel like that. Or she'll go, yeah.
I was.
And
I'm sorry.
And
hopefully you get the I'm sorry.
Hopefully she will say the I'm sorry.
Because maybe she was doing it on purpose, but didn't realize how much it was upsetting you.
Yeah.
And she was doing it to be like, just so everyone knows she's not my favourite.
Yeah.
And it's gone too far.
Potentially there's maybe some resentment there from her. It sounds like there's some resentment. And I'm sorry to say this, but it sounds like there's some resentment there. It does, yeah. The fact that she's playing in your world, you're normally the DM. She thinks your character's mean and boring. That sounds a lot like projecting, and that sounds like a lot of resentment to me.
That's also not very nice.
No, listen. Someone said this the other day. It was Harrison. Thank you. I know you're probably watching this because you always do, and we really appreciate you. But Harry left a comment and said, "You guys always like you tend to err on the side of giving people
the benefit
of the doubt."
Yeah.
And you know what? It's really hard not to in situations like this.
Especially when people come to you for advice.
Yeah, it's because, you know, we don't want to be breaking people's games up. We don't want to be having people fighting.
We've said this before, like, we don't want to be just the two people on the internet that talk about D&D and break people's groups up.
Exactly. We want to try give proper constructive ways.
We get it. Some people on here, the stories that we get, some people do not deserve it.
Yeah, some people suck. Some people suck.
Yeah, some people suck.
Yeah.
Suck ass.
Yeah, they
Big,
suck.
hard fucking ass.
Totally.
So bad.
Total assholes.
When you're giving advice on the internet and when you someone that people come to, if you just constantly like, fuck that, leave the game, fuck this person, kick them out.
Even though sometimes I want to.
Sometimes you want to say that, and sometimes I want to say that, and sometimes that's what people fucking deserve.
Totally. And sometimes people need to hear that.
Trust me, the fucking urge inside me to be like, fuck that guy, get him out.
I know.
It's tough.
It is hard. So we walk a really fine line.
And you're right. And Harrison,
no, you're right. You are right.
We do sometimes give people too much the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
But the thing is, sometimes that's all people need.
Yeah.
Sometimes people have had a shit day, acted like a fucking asshole. Sometimes, you know, they're just having a bad month going through it.
Other things going on.
And sometimes they just need somebody to go to them and be like, you're acting bad.
You're acting bad. What's going on?
What's going on?
Totally.
And then sometimes that can bring it back.
Yeah.
Or sometimes people just don't even understand that they're acting badly because they've been in a different situation in their life where that's been acceptable.
Yeah.
And sometimes they just need to be checked.
Yeah.
And if you check them and you say, well, that's not right.
Yeah. You're making me feel like this. Are you meaning to?
Yeah.
Yeah. But that kind of brings me on to what I was going to say next is OP. I know you say you're best friends. She's not acting like a
right now.
She's not acting like your best friend right now.
Right now, she's not. I wouldn't do that to my best friend.
No, I wouldn't either. So you are totally valid in what you're thinking.
Totally within your rights.
She is singling you out. She's not being a very good friend. She's not being actively mean to you.
Yeah.
You need to tell her this.
Yeah, you need to get it sorted.
You need to, and you can go about it again. Book the time with her. That's so important. Make her know that it's going to be a conversation, serious talk with her because you're upset.
Yeah.
And that will hopefully open the door. And you can say all of this. Say, am I stepping on your toes?
Yeah.
Because I promise I'm not trying to.
I don't want to do that. That's not what I want you to DM in my world and have a great time and understand that I'm there to just be a player.
Yeah. I don't want you to feel like just because you're in my world, I have I don't have
any more than anybody else.
Yeah, totally.
Like, I'm just another player at the table. It doesn't matter that it's my world.
If that's the issue, maybe you could change the world. If the issue is she doesn't like you playing the Blood Hunter, would you be willing to switch out?
That's not fair.
That is not fair.
I don't think that, like, if somebody's like, I don't think you should play Blood Hunter, you play something else.
Yeah,
like,
she should have told you in the beginning.
It's like,
totally.
fuck that. Like, you go to play D&D because you want to play the fantasy of, being
a werewolf.
I've played a Blood Hunter before.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite fantasies. To be like
a
fucking badass.
My God, I know.
Monster hunter.
I know.
That just has a big fucking trench coat and 2 crossbows and just shoots shit.
Totally.
Like, that's just a fantasy that I want to live out. And if my DM said to me, no, I'd be like, I'm not playing.
Yeah. Well,
personally.
But again, should have said that in the beginning.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
should have said it in the beginning.
That time for you to say that is gone.
Yeah,
and you can't say that to somebody halfway through the game.
We've seen firsthand what it's like when someone comes in with a class that they want to play. The DM from the beginning was never okay with it. But they didn't vocalize it, and then similar situation
made it so hard for that player at the table.
Yeah, similar situation to what you're going through here, OP. Yeah. Is they punished that person for being a class that they didn't want them to play, which is unfair.
It's unfair because if you didn't want to play that class, you should have said that before the game.
You should have been.
And you even said, "Can I be this class?" And they said, "Yeah." And if that's the case, then it's too fucking late.
I know. The only advice we can give you here is you need to talk to her about it.
Yeah, 100%.
It doesn't have to be some big blowout fight.
That's exactly what it does not need to be. You need to go in with the intention of being like, "I'm your best friend. This is weird.
Yeah.
Things
are weird.
I want to fucking get this sorted.
Yeah, because I love you and you're my best friend.
And I love D&D.
I love playing D&D with you.
And I want to play D&D with you.
Yeah,
but at the minute, I'm struggling.
I'm feeling this way. A perfect combination to try and get the right answers without it blowing up into a fight is, this is what you said. This is what I heard. This is how it made me feel. Did you mean that?
Yeah.
And if not, what did you mean?
Yeah.
That's a perfect recipe. We use that all the time.
Yeah, 100%.
Listen, like you said, we're practically married. We've been together for 7 years now?
Yeah.
Like, we argue. Of course we do.
7.5 years.
Thank you. I'm terribly sorry. We argue. Of course we do. It's a natural part of being in a relationship.
Yeah, spending that much time with somebody, it's like natural.
Yeah.
Like, you will clash on some points.
And, I have a bit of a temper. We all know this.
Well, they don't. They only found that out today.
Well, true. I have a bit of a temper.
Yeah, she does.
And I can blow up really quickly.
She can.
I've realized recently, the past couple of arguments we've had, we've used that. We've used that. And I think it's worked.
Yeah, it's like any thing said can be interpreted 1,000 different ways.
Yeah, of course.
Like, somebody can just read your tone differently.
Yeah.
Somebody can just read your body language differently. So it's like, you said this, I heard this, it made me feel like this. What did you actually mean?
Yeah.
Because, it can get like that.
Yeah, totally. So I'm sorry,
I love you.
OP. I love you.
So you know.
I love you. Thank you. Oh, I love you. We love you too, OP. Sorry, we had a moment there. Yeah.
Yes, and we hope it gets sorted out.
I hope that's how your conversation ends, with both of you going, listen, I fucking love you, man.
Give us a hug.
Yeah, exactly.
Unless you don't like physical touch.
In which case, you can
just
appreciate each other from here. Yeah, exactly. I hope it gets sorted, OP. I really hope you talk to her. I'm sorry that you're going through this. That sounds like hell. Please, if you have an update, please give it to us.
God, I need to know about this one.
We'd love to hear it. Okay, on to the next one. So,
going.
When I make these notes, I just use a Google Doc and I use like a header and then normal text. I normally put in the header what people say their pronouns are and if they want to be credited. Now, I think I've just pasted this in and I've put the header as GFDFGGGFFF. So I've just slammed my hands on the keyboard here. So I'm so sorry. I don't know who submitted this.
Do you want me to look?
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll be right back. Okay, Jack looked it up. Thank you. So this was submitted by Anonymous. They didn't leave any pronouns, so just them.
Okay.
But it was definitely worth checking because the last thing I want to do is misgender someone.
Yes.
So recently, a friend in my weekly group has been subtly airing his frustrations at his lack of understanding or inability to grasp the rules for 5e. We've all been friends for literal decades, but he hasn't addressed this with the group directly. He also made a public post on Twitter about it and his feelings of inadequacy, especially when compared to the rest of the group's knowledge. I feel awful for having a part in it, even inadvertently. I was hoping he would feel safe enough at the table to talk about it and air it out, but he hasn't yet. The group decided when he left abruptly after our last session that we would try to get him to open up about it, but I'm worried that it might come off as an attack, and I think the situation needs an air of empathy. He is a great person, and I don't want his memories of D&D with us to be stained with this. I feel especially bad because at that session, I reminded him of a race trait of his character that saved him some damage taken, and then learned that he felt this way. First of all, that's sad, isn't it?
That is sad.
That sucks.
I think everyone needs to... People who don't know all the rules need to fucking give themselves a break.
I know. There is
I don't know all of the rules.
There is so many rules.
There's so many rules.
There is
and
so many.
The shit that gets added to it all the time. And
constantly.
We're in a complicated state right now because we're playing with 5e, and then we're playing with Xanathars on top of it, and then we're playing with Tasha's on top of it.
Yeah, then there's homebrew.
And then there's all the homebrews, and then there's other modules on top of that.
Yeah, then there's there's 3.5 and everything like that.
Some people use like older edition rules and
there's Pathfinder rules that people bring in.
Now we're playtesting 1D&D.
I know,
and like I'm hearing stuff from 1D&D, and I'm like, oh, I like that.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
we play with some 1D&D rules.
We're in a complicated time.
Yes.
So
your friend,
don't beat yourself up if you don't know all the rules.
If any of you listening are feeling like this, don't, because I promise you, it is a complicated game.
But I can understand. Like, look, Margaret knows this about me. Like, this is my toxic trait.
Oh, go on.
Is I need to, as soon as I get an interest in something, I need to then know everything about it.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that's a toxic trait.
No, but it is because it then consumes all of my
well,
time.
no, yeah, but
I as soon as I find D&D, as soon as I started playing it and I started enjoying it, I was like, right, okay,
I've got to learn everything about everything. Yeah,
I just had to learn every single thing about it.
Yeah, which is great for us, but I can understand how that's a lot of pressure for you.
Yeah, well, no, it's not that, but some people are like that, and then if you can't grasp it, but you want to,
which
sounds
it's hard. It's hard to do this.
Yeah, it can be frustrating.
Yeah,
and
totally.
especially sitting around the table with other people who know more than you.
Yeah,
can also be very intimidating.
And that applies to anything in life. If you're the person in the room who knows the least about the thing you're there for, of course you're going to feel like that. So that's a very, very normal feeling.
It's a very normal way to feel.
Yeah. Now, OP. The fact that
your point. Sorry
the fact that you have come to us and you're like, I feel terrible for playing a part in this, even if I didn't mean to. We need to go about this with an air of empathy. You're completely right. You have the answers here.
Yeah, I understand that you why you would feel bad, but you don't need to. You don't need to.
If you don't
it's
know,
not your fault.
Totally. If you don't know that there's a problem,
Can't do anything about
how
it.
can you do anything about it? And especially if your friend, like you said, hasn't aired these things at the table, Now, my answer would be totally different if it didn't include the part of posted on his public Twitter about it.
Yeah.
To me, that kind of sounds like a little bit of a cry for help.
A little bit of a
yeah.
I know I've got you all on here.
Yeah.
For the love of God, somebody help me.
Someone,
teach me.
Someone please reach out to me and do this to me. Now, I could be reading that wrong.
Yeah.
That's the problem with the internet,
Yes.
right? That's the problem with reading words on a screen.
Yeah.
You don't really know what the intention behind that is. But if it were me, and I knew my whole D&D party played, and I was feeling like this, and I posted something like that, that would be me trying to extend the olive branch without saying it directly, and hoping someone would say something.
And the fact that you all like stayed back behind the session after that person
and you were
left, and you were like,
we need to do something about this.
That's great. That's already great.
You obviously care about your friend.
You obviously care. And like, I don't know, are you willing to put some time aside to teach this person? Because if you are, that would be great for this person. I think. Like, what do they want to know? Do they just want to know about what they're playing? Like, do they want to know the in-depth about their race, their class, their subclass, like combat mechanics and things like that? Is that what they want to learn? Or do they want to learn everything? Yeah. Like, that'll just dictate how long you do it for. Yeah. Like, how long you have these sessions for. Because, you know.
And, you know, the way to approach this, I think you're right that if you kind of blindside him a little bit and it's all of you at the table and you all go, okay, let's talk about this. You know, I could understand how that would be intimidating.
That would be very intimidating.
A little bit of like a feeling like an intervention.
Yeah.
I think one of you. Now, I would say the DM, but it depends who's the closest with this person.
Yeah, is one person in the group got like a really is this person got a really good friend in the group? Yeah. And do they know enough about D&D to be able to teach them?
Yeah, well, I would say to get the conversation started, whoever you know your friend better than we do. You know the situation. Whoever is closest with your friend, reach out to your friend and privately and say, hey, I saw your tweet. I'm so sorry that you're feeling like this. I want to make sure that you don't feel like this. How can I help?
What do you need to know?
How can I help?
Do you want to meet up?
Yeah, because obviously you care, and just say, I'm so sorry you feel like this. I had no idea. Yeah. And if I knew, I would have said something earlier. Yeah. Like, we're more than happy to help. And hopefully that will break down that barrier.
Do you have some books that you can lend them?
Yeah.
Do they want to learn on their own?
Yeah.
Do you have the PHB?
Yeah.
Do you have the rest of the stuff with it?
Me, I'm a very physical learner. You don't want to see my D&D stuff because I have to print everything out, laminate everything. I have a book. It's a mess. I have to physically have everything in front of me so I can remember things. Yeah. Maybe your friend would benefit from something like that.
Yeah.
Hit me up. I can make something for your friend.
Yeah.
I can make a stupid little sheet with your friend with their stuff on it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Like the racial traits.
Yeah.
The class features, the subclass features.
Yeah.
And things
you don't need me to do that. But do you know what I mean?
But,
that's an option.
That's
what I do.
You can show them a picture.
Yeah. I'll here. This is the sheet that I make this for every single one of my characters, and it has basically everything I need to remember it on
there. That's like magic item charges.
Yes, I laminate it. When I use a charge, I mark it off with my dry eraser. Yeah. Then I get rid of it. Yeah. And it's perfect. I've made one for the group, for our group items. Yeah. Because that's how I learn. Maybe your friend isn't. Maybe your friend isn't. Maybe your friend doesn't want that stuff.
I only learn by watching.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I have to watch somebody do something. Yeah. Or like I have to watch somebody like talk about something. If I sit there and try and read in one ear out the other, I'll never learn anything.
Yeah, totally.
I'll never learn anything.
Totally, yeah.
I can't read a book.
Yeah. Like, I have to process things to be able to understand them.
So I think you need to just ask them how they would want to learn as well.
Totally. Maybe a friend just needs the extra lenience at the table where if there's something that's being said, they can go, oh, hold on, what does that mean? Yeah. We do that all the time.
Yeah.
Oh my God, we constantly do that. That's a very normal thing. Mm-hmm. And maybe your friend feels like it's not normal because maybe you guys don't have to do it as much because you are more experienced.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'll do this. And then the thing is, they're sat there going, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah.
What's going on?
Yeah.
So you need to like, maybe they just need that open line of communication that in the session, if they don't understand something, they can just say,
totally.
Sorry, what was that?
Yeah.
How does that work?
Exactly. We do that all the time. And I think your friend just needs to know that he's in a safe space with people who care about him, people who aren't judging him, and you can work on it together. Yeah.
But definitely, if it's you or somebody else or the DM, just reach out to them. Just
you
say,
need to. I think there needs to be a conversation here.
I'm sorry you're feeling like this.
Yeah.
And we never wanted you to feel this way.
Yeah.
Let's do something about it.
Totally.
Let's teach you.
I saw your tweet. Yeah. And I'm so sorry.
What do you want to know? Where do we begin? How do you want to do it?
Absolutely. You've been friends for literal decades, like you say. It's gonna be fine.
It's gonna be fine.
It's gonna be potentially a little bit awkward in the beginning.
Yeah, but it'll be
naturally.
sound.
You'll be fine, Anon. Please have a conversation with your friend. And if you do, guess what I'm gonna say? Let us know.
Let us know.
Let us know. I hope that helps. Okay, we are on to the last one.
Yes, we are. My numbers have got all fucked up, so I might have been telling you the wrong number this entire time. Because apparently this is 12, and I know we don't have 12 submissions.
No, totally not. I think this is 10. This is probably going to be, well, our timer is currently sat at 2 hours 17, but we have had to stop.
To do with the dog.
We have had to stop a lot for the dog. So this is potentially going to be a longer one, but you guys don't mind. So thank you. Cool. Thank you for letting us go over if we need to.
No pressure.
So this last one is a long one. There is, there's a lot to it that listen, strap in and listen.
I'm strapped in, baby.
Pay attention.
I got
friends.
my belt seat. My belt seat. I got my belt buckle on.
So
hit it.
The title is Asking for Advice for an Incurable, Terrible Curse that my DM refused to remove.
Okay.
This has been sent in by Anonymous, and they go by they, them. I need to know how best to approach this conversation with my DM, as I fear they are not listening. One of our ex-players left, in brackets, cough, was kicked out for being toxic, cough. Good. The game shortly after cursing my character. I have tried to get rid of this curse, but my DM refuses to listen, and it is causing me major stress every session.
So the player cursed them?
The player cursed
just before they left?
Then left.
Right, okay.
Oh, got kicked out. I cannot for the life of me remember how he cursed me, as it was many sessions ago, but I can't undo it. This curse is supposed to be a Beauty and the Beast type of thing, where if my player feels any intense emotion, she might turn into a huge beast, creature, whatever. I forgot which one specifically, as my DM picked one out, but after any intense scene, she will roll to see if I turn or not. And then literally kill everyone. Like, actually murder every single person, and no one can stop it. This has greatly affected my playing. The various issues include, first of all, say no more. Of course that greatly affects how you play.
Of course it does.
Of course it does.
If you're an intense role player, if you love like deep emotional role play, that scares you from doing the thing that you want to do.
If you know your character turns, that's the end of the game. That's a TPK.
You just don't do it.
Like, of course that would scare me.
You basically just avoid doing it.
Of course. So, the various issues include, my character has a lot of trauma and is currently getting some more trauma with a certain person in her past showing up. She is supposed to be in a down spiral right now, but I can't bring myself to do it because of the curse. My character does not know of this curse, but I did mention several ways for her to find out about it, and my DM said no. But because my DM hinted it to me several times, I know of it. I know metagaming is wrong, but I genuinely do not want to ruin the game for everyone, all because of something another player did and then shortly left after. Plus, I spent a lot of time and research into this character, and I expressed multiple times to the DM prior to this that I would be so upset if she were to die. And if she did die, I wanted it to be a good death, aka not this bullshit.
Yeah.
My metagaming has fueled a lot of anger from the DM. Whenever there is a scene where my character should be getting angry or sad or whatever, I don't play it like that, and my DM gets mad at me.
Of course you don't, because you don't want to kill the party.
Of course you don't.
Why would you want to do that?
And again, yes, all right, the whole metagaming conversation. Yeah, I get it, metagaming bad, whatever. But if you know
you're going to kill everyone,
the game is over if you do this.
Of course you're not going to do it.
Of course you're not.
Why would you want to do it?
Of course you're not. The first few times after the curse was enacted, and I already knew about it, I did try some scenes, but my DM would immediately afterwards go, wait, hold on, roll, silence, 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 silence. Okay, you're good, continue. Every single time this happened, my heart rate would pick up and I would start shaking, sweating, and feeling nauseous. I'm not kidding. And so I decided to stop doing these scenes altogether. On the few times I've forgotten about the curse, the DM will swoop in and remind me by doing the rolling bit like I mentioned above. And during the moments of silence, I tell all the players with me that I am so sorry if I fuck this up. And they have no clue about anything. Now that I am not acting these scenes properly, my DM is getting very upset with me. She keeps telling me not to metagame so much, but I genuinely cannot help it. Which leads to issue 3. How terrible does this sound? How
awful.
Absolutely terrible does this sound?
Why would you put an insta-kill mechanic
and be
on
like,
another player that
like,
they can't do anything about?
You're not doing it.
You're not doing it. It's like, of course I'm fucking not.
Tell me you want your player to die without telling me you don't want your player to die.
Why the fuck would I do it? I just don't. What's anyone getting out of this? Somebody's not getting to play the character properly.
Yeah.
The DM's getting frustrated because they're metagaming.
And all the other players are sat there like...
All the other players are confused and also probably getting frustrated as
well.
Yeah, like, why? Why?
Well...
This is so fucking annoying.
Issue 3. My DM told me that there was a cure for the curse. Yay, I thought. I'm saved. Except no, I'm not, because immediately afterwards she said, oh yeah, but you can never get it. Haha. My heart shattered. I tried various different ways to get the cure from her, and she shot me down every time. They won't tell me why the cure is impossible to get, but only that it is. I understand I've been annoying her with this, but when she told me to fucking stop and shut the fuck up, I was really upset. They completely shut down the issue as
rude.
It's impossible to cure, and that your character has absolutely no way to find out about the curse anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Then why'd you tell him?
But it matters to me.
Why'd you tell him?
It matters to me as this is my character and I want to put an end to this. I've expressed several times how much it matters, how much it affects me, and how I want it to stop. And she basically shrugs her shoulders and refuses to adapt it or retcon it. This is my first true D&D game, and the only thing I've done before this was a quick one-shot with another similar game style. I really love the game thus far, but this whole experience makes it really hard to play, as at any moment, I and all my teammates will lose the characters we all really care about over this stupid curse. Please help me find a way to get through to my DM. Man, that's a horror story.
It's a horror story.
That's a horror story.
It's a horror story.
I'm so sorry. Our camera just died.
Put it back in. Sorry, we'll carry on.
This is such an awful, terrible situation. Listen, it sounds like your DM. This is just surface level what I think straight off the bat. Sounds like your DM doesn't want you to play. Sounds like your DM doesn't want the game to continue. Sounds like your DM is intentionally making you have a bad time. That's the level. That's the thoughts I get. I
definitely agree with the last bit. I don't know if the other two are the case.
Yeah, that's just me assuming.
They definitely are enjoying your misery.
Yeah, totally.
Which isn't cool.
No,
which is
especially
very, very, very wrong.
Especially if you're supposed to be friends. Now, there is kind of no mention of whether you actually...
I don't care what happens at a table.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care if, you're button heads and stuff like that. You don't tell somebody else at the table to shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I know.
And was it shut up and fuck off?
Yeah, fucking stop and shut the fuck up.
That's just fucking rude.
That's just
rude.
And I understand tensions get high, but you can't.
Yeah, no, but that's just...
You can't, especially in a group of people when you're the DM, you cannot tell someone to shut the fuck up.
No.
You just can't do it.
No, it's fucking wrong.
Even if you could be the best friend, it could be you and me. And if you told me to shut the fuck up in front of everyone, first of all, everyone would have a problem with that.
Yeah, of course they would.
That is
and
terrible.
Everyone should
yeah,
have
totally.
a problem with that.
That is terrible behavior. And I'm so sorry.
What I don't get is, it's maybe, I don't know. Was it like they said that you were going to kill everyone, but if you finally turned into this beast, you didn't, and there was something to find out.
Yeah.
But then why are they taunting you with a cure?
Yes, and why are they...
They're taunting you.
That's them being
cure,
like, there's a cure.
Oh, you'll never find it, though.
You can't get it. What's the point in even fucking saying it?
What's the point in saying that? That's just teasing someone. That's just bullying someone.
Sounds like this DM is just on a fucking massive power trip. And needs to get a grip.
Massive power trip.
Needs to learn how to treat the people around them.
Yeah.
And respect people's time. OP has said they have put time and care and research. They care about this character. I don't fucking care what anyone says. Your D&D character is an extension of you.
Yeah.
Now, yes, of course you separate the two. You have to. But yes, it's just a game, but it's not.
Not to some people.
It's not to me.
Yeah.
Obviously not to OP.
A lot of people put their time and effort in, and then, when you put your time and effort into something, it immediately becomes more than just a game.
Of course it does.
Of course it does.
And it's...
The people who say that just don't understand.
Yeah, for a lot of people, I know for me, D&D is a way where you can explore themes and you can try to heal yourself and you can address by talking and being someone else some of the issues in your real life. That's just how it is.
Yeah, for some people, that is how it is.
So it's not just a character. I know, I know no one is saying that.
No.
But I understand why you're so upset. I understand why you're shaking and you're sweating and you're feeling nauseous, especially because OP said all of the other players really care for their characters.
And, we all come to Dungeons & Dragons to have a good time.
Yeah.
We play it to have fun.
Yeah, because what's the point in playing if you're not?
But the thing is, this person is playing and not
having a
fun.
terrible time.
And your Dungeon Master is facilitating your misery.
Making sure you have a bad time. Now, if I do...
Any Dungeon Master out there, you have no power over your players. That's not the fucking point of being a Dungeon Master. Mm-hmm. You're there to just tell the story. So do not, by under any circumstance, push your players into having a bad time. Yeah. Whatever form that takes. Yeah. If they say I'm not having fun, I'm uncomfortable, I don't like this, then just fucking stop it. Just stop doing it.
Oh my God, respect the people around you.
Respect your players.
And you know what? If I was to err on the side of giving this DM the benefit of the doubt, maybe they have something planned. It's like you said, when you turn, they've said all these things to you and they have this huge revelationary thing that they only want to do through the game.
Yeah.
But
it's too far gone.
That all goes away when when OP has actively said, I'm uncomfortable, I don't want this, can we change it? Please retcon it. Give me a cure.
Yeah, at that moment.
That's when it all goes away.
Yeah, that's when it's you can, it can be this thing where, that this beast is going to come out when this happens. Yeah. And, it turns out it does happen. Yeah. The beast comes out. Yeah. And it's not. Yeah. That's fine. You can do that. But you're dangling the carrot for too long. Yeah. And you're making your player uncomfortable. And they've asked you to stop. So if that was the case, that should have been okay, next session it'll stop, I promise. Yeah. And then the reveal happens. That's when it happens, not just dragging it on. Because the thing is, all you're doing now, you heard that they were having a bad time, you heard that they were stressed out, and then you dangled the cure, and you're just making it worse. You're doing it intentionally to make this player feel bad. And this is advice, not a horror story.
Yes.
So what we need to say is...
the last thing I want to touch on here is the whole metagaming aspect. We talk about metagaming loads. We have... I would say a very lenient opinion on metagaming.
We've posted a lot of TikToks about metagaming recently, and obviously TikToks get a lot of comments, and people give us their opinions. A lot of people agree. Yeah, yeah. And the amount of people that are no, you need to have
there's an element
above table talk, and then there's metagaming.
Totally.
So
now, do I agree, OP, that potentially you are metagaming by having your character not do these things? Yeah. However,
it's fine.
I would do the same.
I would do the fucking same thing.
I would do the same thing.
Of
course I would.
In a heartbeat, I would do the same thing.
I would, to be honest, I wouldn't have had as much grace and decorum as you, OP, because I would have said to everyone at that table there, I would have been like, I'm fucking cursed, by the way.
I would also, at the moment I was told to shut the fuck up, I would have gone, fuck off, and I would have got up and I'd have left.
Yes.
Because nobody deserves to be treated like that.
But, I understand that.
Oh, no, I understand.
Yeah,
I understand.
But true. Yeah, true.
Nobody should ever treat you like that.
I would have flipped the table and left.
Yeah.
Totally. I would have said above board, I would have been like, I'm fucking cursed, by the way.
So you all know, I'm cursed.
Also, when that DM's rolling, that's to see if I'm going to kill everyone and TPK the whole party and kill everyone.
Yeah. Do you want to know what? I think I'd have done the same thing. At this point, out of fucking spite.
Yeah, I would have as well.
Because they're making your life a misery.
Yeah. And you know what, OP? Well done for you for not letting it spiral into this horrible, toxic... it's toxic anyway.
Yeah, they're being horrendously toxic towards you. Yeah. And the fact that you've been so nice is unbelievable. Yeah. And you're a better person than me.
True, I would have...
I'd have fucking left. I'd have left.
I would have gotten petty about it.
I would have done the same thing.
I wouldn't have been able to keep my stupid mouth shut.
They're just messing with you at this point.
And it's hard because OP says it's their first true D&D game. How do you know what to expect if this is your first? I'm telling you now, this isn't normal.
No, it's not normal. DMs don't do this.
Your DM
DMs shouldn't do this.
Shouldn't be doing this. This is, I promise you, a rare case. This doesn't happen.
I think you need to just go to your DM
yeah.
and be like, this has to stop.
Yeah.
I'm not enjoying myself. It's not fun.
Yeah.
It's not funny.
Yeah.
It's stressing me out.
Yeah.
I don't want to kill all the other players.
Because they care about their characters. They
and
have
that's
no idea.
That's unfair. And it's like, I don't know what it is. If it's like a joke.
Just tell me the reason why you're doing this.
Yeah. Well, yeah. But they shouldn't be doing this.
They shouldn't
You
be
don't even need a reason because they shouldn't be doing this. You just need to go and be like, it needs to stop.
Yeah.
And I need you to stop it now.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to go into the next session because you're obviously dreading the sessions.
Yeah, totally. I would be. Totally.
You just need to go to the DM and say, this needs to stop. I'm having a bad time. Can we please come to an agreement where either the curse doesn't kill anyone, you tell me what it actually is,
you
tell me where to find the cure, or we just get rid of it. Because I don't want it.
Yeah, like... yeah. The genuine advice here is, if... I don't know why you still want to play with this DM. However, I understand you're attached to your character.
Yeah.
You love your character.
You might really like the other players.
You've said the game so far has been really good. So that's not fair for me to say. But if you want to continue playing with this DM, you mentioned you've tried to talk to them before. You need to have one final last attempt.
And it may even need to be an ultimatum and be like, if we can't sort it, I'm going to have to leave.
And I know you probably don't want to do that, but we're telling you, if you go to your DM once again...
What we always said, no D&D is better than bad D&D.
Totally.
And right now, this is bad D&D.
Totally. And it sounds like this is affecting you outside of the game as well.
Yeah, which isn't good.
Which your D&D game should never...
It should be it should be one of the things in your week where you're like...
It should be a highlight.
I forget about all the other shit. All the other stuff is gone.
Totally.
We have fun.
Totally. You need to. We gave this advice in another one. Book time in with your DM.
Yeah.
Private time. Actually get a time and date. Show up. Tell them, I need to have a serious conversation with you. And you need to tell them what you've told us here.
Yeah.
You need to tell them how they're making you feel.
Mm-hmm.
You need to give them the examples of this.
Your feelings are valid.
Oh, they are.
And, you know, like clearly so far, they haven't thought that.
Yeah.
Because when you've said how you're feeling, they've not done anything about it. You need to tell them, like, this is the way it's making me feel, and I can't feel like that anymore.
Yeah. You need to have a conversation with them. And it's like Jack said, you tell them this is how bad it's making me feel. To give them the benefit of the doubt. Maybe they don't realize. Maybe it's just a stupid joke.
I don't think at this point they can't not realize.
I know. You need to make your feelings exactly how you feel very clear. And OP, listen to what they say back to you.
Yeah.
Pay attention to how they react to you, because
if it's just a brush off.
Yeah, I get such a bad feeling from this.
I get a terrible feeling about this.
If they come back to you and they say anything dismissive of you, they try to justify how they've been acting for you, they don't apologize to you. We hate to say it, but you need to get out of there.
I think, if the conversation doesn't go exactly like this, I'm sorry, I didn't realize I was making you feel that way. I don't know fucking how, by the way.
Let's work on this together.
And yes, let's get it sorted.
Yeah.
Like, let's sort the curse out. We'll get it done.
Let's sort it out.
Yeah.
I'm willing.
If the conversation doesn't go like that, I hate to say it, you need to go.
Yeah, this is one of those situations where you're being affected on a level outside of the game. This is horrible behavior. I promise you. This is your first time playing D&D. There is a table for you that is perfect for you.
Yeah.
You can bring this character back.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with doing that.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying that you are going to leave, but if you do, I promise the group you have now, you can find again.
Yeah.
I promise.
Yeah.
And it's
Don't worry, like your mental health and your well-being is more important than the group currently.
Maybe they're the only people around you who you know who play D&D. You can find more people.
There's more people.
There's so many people out here who play D&D. Maybe they're your friends and they're similar to you. You can still be friends.
Yeah.
You can play in a different campaign.
Yeah.
There's options.
But let's hope it doesn't come to that.
Yeah,
and you go to your DM and you say everything, and they say, "I'm sorry, let's sort it out."
Yeah, I'm sorry that your DM tells you to shut the fuck up. That's unacceptable.
Fucking bullshit, man. Like you should.
Unacceptable.
I don't care what level of metagaming there is. You don't tell your players or anyone that you're friends with to shut the fuck up.
Yeah, totally. OP, I am so sorry. That is a horror story. That is terrible.
Tell you who needs to shut the fuck up.
Go on.
It's DM.
Yeah, you tell him.
It's DM.
Yeah, you tell him. Yeah.
I know I said that you shouldn't tell people, yeah, but you deserve it.
Shut the fuck up. I'm sorry. If there is, please.
That was exhausting, that
good
one.
God, if you are listening, just know we are sorry. If you are someone in a similar situation to OP, your feelings are totally valid. Your DM is here to facilitate your good time. Yeah, they're not doing that.
All the DM that is there to do is tell the story.
Yeah.
Tell the players what happens when they do things, and have a good time.
If you're a DM watching this and you think, "Oh, this kind of sounds similar to how I'm treating someone," or you're annoyed at your player. It isn't. And your player's still there because they want to play with you. They like your story. Please reconsider. Because maybe you didn't have the whole picture, right? Maybe you didn't know how upset they were. Maybe to you it was a funny joke. But you need to listen to your players. And it's unfair for you to single this one person out.
You can't... As a DM, it's not your job to make people feel like this.
Yeah.
You're supposed to make your players have a good time. If anything that you're doing is causing your players to have a bad time, be stressed, or anything of the above, make them upset. Like that's not what your job is.
Yeah.
And if you're doing that, you need to stop.
Yeah. Like please hear your player out.
Yeah.
Because your player...
Listen to your players' feelings.
They obviously care about you, and you care about them because you wouldn't be playing with each other if you didn't. It's past a point. It's past a point of being funny or whatever. And if you're doing this to someone and there's a reason you're doing it, right? You're like, I promise the end justifies the means.
Reason.
Tell him. Tell them what the reason is.
Tell them, or fucking fast track it so it's done.
Yeah.
Because currently it's stressing someone out.
Yeah.
And if there's maybe something that they don't quite understand or that they don't know, the problem is it's too late.
Yeah.
You need to have done it earlier.
Yeah.
I still don't think that's okay.
I know.
I don't think you should ever make a player feel like that to then get to a narrative point.
Totally. And
if that was the thing and you've just fucked up.
Yeah.
Do the right thing.
Hey, everyone does it.
Do the right thing. Say sorry.
Yeah.
And then next session, tell them we'll sort it out.
I am so sorry, OP. That's terrible. That's a horrible
scenario.
I know. And you know what? That's the last one we've ended on.
Ended on a high, eh?
Yeah.
Ended on a positive note.
I normally like to put something like kind of like uplifting at the end, but that's just the reality of it, isn't
it?
Just
what it is.
This is what it is.
That's just what it is this week, guys.
That is. So deal with it. Shut the fuck up.
You shut the fuck up. Shut up. Get out of here. No, don't stay.
Man,
We're
please, we love you.
Done.
Don't go. So, well, that was it.
Bye.
That was it.
Yes.
So, once again, thank you all so much for sending your submissions in.
Yeah.
We really hope that there is something that helps you here.
Yeah. Any advice? Let us know if it works.
Yeah. Please follow up
with us. Let us know how it turns out.
To everyone watching who hasn't submitted an advice, or if you've heard these and you go, I have a solution to this, please comment down below.
Yeah.
There's a chance that they're watching.
Yeah.
But also, on the other side of things, be respectful, because there is a chance that the people who submitted these are watching and they will see what you say.
Yeah.
And I know you guys, I've said this before, I know you guys, all you want to do is support the people around you and uplift the people around you. So I know you wouldn't ever say anything bad or stupid. But we gotta support each other around here.
Yeah.
We do. So if
you liked this video,
oh my goodness,
click the like button.
Mm-hmm.
If you liked it enough and you really, really, really thought what we said was like fucking groundbreaking stuff.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yep.
Subscribe.
Totally.
Leave a comment down below with all of the things that Margaret just said, and also just let us know that you like the video. We like to have a little chat with you. And then also press the press the bell notification. Press the bell notification if you want to be notified when we upload a new video every Monday and Thursday. And we're going to see you
in the next one.
Bye.